We are in Texas. We're taking you to the best barbecue spots across this entire state. We're going to be going to Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, and Houston, and see which one you think is the best. How you feeling?
I'm really excited.
Yeah.
I got a little taste of American barbecue in LA, but we come to the arguable home of barbecue.
Yeah.
These guys are doing it. They're doing it well.
But the best way to start this is to bring you to the Fort Worth stockyards. We're going to see them walk the cattle into the stockyard. This is kind of like the beginning of a barbecue journey. Starts with the very cattle here that ends up feeding a lot of people throughout this great state.
We've got a lot of spots to hit.
Yep.
You feeling good?
I'm feeling great and very hungry.
Let's go.
All right, my man. Best barbecue in Texas. We are starting off this adventure here in Dallas, Fort Worth. Dallas-Fort Worth is the most populated area in Texas and the 4th largest metropolitan area in the United States. Now, why am I telling you that? That's because there's a lot of people here and they all want barbecue.
I've never been to Texas before. First time here.
What do you think?
I'm enjoying it so far. It's hot.
Yep.
It's very large.
Yeah.
Spending a lot of time in cars again. It's an adjustment from London. But when Brits think of American barbecue, Texas is probably the style that we're thinking of.
Is that right?
Yeah, I know there are lots of other places that do it, like
Yeah.
the Carolinas,
Yeah, Kansas City.
Kansas.
Yeah, Memphis.
But I think Texas, from a British perspective, is probably the #1. So I'm really excited to try.
Yes. Texas Monthly, every 4 years, does a 50 best barbecue places in Texas.
Right, like the barbecue Olympics.
Yeah, the barbecue. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The last one came out in 2021. We're currently shooting this in 2024. So as of right now, the list we're going off still stands, and there's something like 12 of the top 50 are in the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas area. Now you can see why we're starting here.
I can, yeah. They're doing barbecue. They're doing it well.
And we're starting off this adventure here at Panther City Barbecue. I mean, they were number 10 on the list. That's a pretty big deal, right? This place is iconic. Panther City started as a food truck. Think about 8 years ago, doing barbecue competitions. Eventually got to own brick and mortar spot, which we're here at. Now, at all the places we're gonna be going to on this trip. Definitely gotta do brisket. Brisket is like kind of the unofficial meat of Texas. Also gonna do ribs, mostly pork, sometimes it'll be beef. We'll be doing some fun sides or specific menu things that each of the place has to kind of get a feel of what they have to offer. But yeah, this is gonna be really awesome. We're gonna eat a lot. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm also worried about our health.
So I mean, coming from the UK, we don't really do barbecue the same way that you guys do barbecue.
Sure.
I think what we call barbecue, you guys would more call grilling.
Ah,
This is
yeah,
sort of
yeah,
like
sure,
quickly
sure.
cooking things over high heat in your backyard.
Yeah, the terms kind of overlap. So for real barbecue, especially Texas barbecue, the name of the game is low and slow. Everything that we're gonna be eating today is probably cooked somewhere around 250, 275. I don't know what that is in Celsius. I mean, they're cooking this meat for hours. I think the guy in the pit said he got here at 4 a.m. Ooh, no thanks.
I'm not a morning person, are you?
No, are you kidding me? Dude.
There are very few things I love enough to get up and do them at 4 in the
Yeah,
morning.
you kidding me? You see me at a place of business at 4 a.m., it's because I'm robbing it. Anyway, I'm starving, dude.
Me too.
It is a little past 10. I'm ready to eat some barbecue.
Yeah, it seems like barbecue early is a thing over here, people getting in line. I think it's time to go order. Okay, I am
right.
beyond excited.
Right?
This looks phenomenal.
This looks absolutely incredible. Number 10 in the entire state, and now we already can see why. All right, we got the brisket as described before, slow cooked for hours and hours. Look how juicy that looks. Then they got the ribs over here. They got sausage over here. Jalapeno popper burnt ends. Thank you, Texas. Thank you, Texas.
God bless
you
America.
read my mind.
God bless America.
This should be on your flag.
Yes.
And we got the brisket elote, which clearly they shaved up some brisket, put it on delicious corn, and I don't know, some beans.
Some beans. Making me feel at home with the baked beans.
Yeah, I got you beans.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Where do you want to start?
Oh, I don't know, man. It all looks so good. Brisket, I guess. It's
Yeah.
kind of like the go-to.
And we got this piece right here.
So you can barely even pick it up without it falling apart.
Mhm.
Oh, look at the color of that bar.
I know, look how good this looks.
Oh, man.
It's incredible.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to talk about this bark in a second
Cheers,
here.
man.
First, I'll say, yeah. Oh my God. Dude, that's perfect. That's so incredible. I can't talk.
Holy
They
moly.
do like usually a salt and pepper rub, like a coarse black pepper and kosher salt rub.
Yeah.
Also, to bind everything together, some places will use apple cider vinegar. This place specifically does a mustard that's cut with pickle juice, which hearing that, I'd be like, what's that all about? But
Yeah.
it adds an incredible tanginess to the flavor of this entire meat, which
Yeah.
is unbelievable. That bark is perfect. You can tell The brisket is just so unbelievably juicy. Look at the juice in this
juicy.
thing, dude. Brisket, especially, can be a bit of a fattier cut of meat because it's like right up here. It's like right where the cow's got arms and it's like here or whatever. And because of that, it has a lot of connective tissue and fat. When you cook it slow and low in one of these pits, two things are happening. Number one, the connective tissue and the fat is melting. So all of that is kind of just absorbing into the meat, right? And that's why brisket, when cooked properly, just falls apart, melt in your mouth. Don't need, you can cut it with a spoon, really nice. Also, various areas of the country in Texas prefer their different types of wood. This place specifically, Panther City, is doing a post oak, and that has a profound effect on the flavors.
It's so good. Like the texture, it's just not something that we get in the UK.
Why do you think no one's doing this in the UK?
There's a lot of tradition and history behind it, I'm sure, in the US that I guess we just don't quite share.
Yeah. You going into the ribs?
I'm tempted, like, just look at the color on that.
I'm gonna
The
grab-
bark on
grab
those
a
ribs.
Look at this.
I love ribs so much.
Yeah. These look absolutely incredible, and they're just so.
Again, like the juiciness,
Yeah.
man. It's that slow cooking, right?
Absolutely wow.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely wow.
A little sweet, not too sweet. A little tiny bit of sweetness.
Sweet kissed.
Texture on that is so good. I think when we had the LA barbecue, I was talking about like how I like my ribs,
Yeah.
and this is like pretty much exactly the texture I want.
Really?
So I wouldn't say it like falls off the bone. Like you can tug it a little bit, and it's not just going to slide clean off.
I love it.
A little bit of bite to it.
I like it. I love the flimsy. I love it falling off the bone,
Really?
man. Yeah, I love that. Same with the brisket. Obviously cooked for hours. All that flavor's locked in there. Right? Look how juicy those are.
The way they're doing the bark here as well, with the ribs particularly,
Yeah.
it forms this kind of like distinct, like crispy skin layer. Almost like a sort of like rib candy.
They got sauce on the table, so they're encouraging us to sauce. But as of right now, I've not tasted anything where I'm like, I should put sauce on this.
No, me neither.
Let me do a little sauce bump.
Oh. Good sauce.
Yeah. Tangy, vinegary. It's got some heat to it. Yo! Yo!
Ooh, yeah,
That's
tang.
really good. Little something you feel a little homesick. Sausage, a banger as you would call it.
Yeah.
Right?
We've got beans and sausage. I feel very much at home.
That's right,
Yeah.
man. It's like a little bit of UK on the plate.
So this
is
was
cheddar
jalapeno cheddar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa.
Let's start straight in.
Oh. That's one of the best sausages we've ever had. That's an incredible sauce.
So good.
Now, these sausages are made in-house, and they cold smoke them,
Wow.
which I'm assuming means that when they're smoked, that's not the cooking process.
More just for like the flavor.
Yeah, let the
Yeah.
flavor seep in.
Because you definitely get the smokiness from it.
My man,
Yeah, I mean, we got to try these things. So
I've never even seen something like this before. Look at this.
that's so nice. With the jalapeno, with the cream cheese, obviously bacon wrapped because
Yeah.
why not? There's so much going on here that you need the bacon to like bind it all
Yeah,
together.
bind it all together. All right, I'm gonna try and get everything in one bite.
So,
Ready?
cheers, man.
Cheers, buddy. This is wild.
There's so much going on there. I think if you gave one of these to like a Victorian British child, it would just kill them on the spot. Yeah,
Oh wow.
so good. So I definitely get more spice from the jalapeno here than I would from like the jalapeno cheddar sausage.
Correct. I mean, you're just mainlining jalapeno.
Yeah. The burnt end, man, it's nice.
I have to say, it's a bit saltier than I was expecting. I think because I went right on the burnt end.
Hydrate.
Ooh,
Hydrate today. It's hot, salty food. This brisket elote has been like staring me down.
Yeah.
So elote is kind of like a Mexican creamed corn dish thing, right?
Yeah, sometimes it can be on the cob. There's always a cheese element to it.
The coriander, we got the lime. I mean, we've got a pretty substantial plate here, but I feel like even this, like, that is a lunch on its own. Like
That's
a cup
fantastic.
of this.
That
I'm
is
trying to get some of
fantastic. Try that. You're gonna love
Like,
it.
look how much brisket they packed in there. I'm trying to get down into the corn.
I gotta be honest. I wasn't expecting much from that.
No?
That's actually amazing. Yeah. That is amazing.
Trying to get more of the corn out. Like
Yeah,
it's,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
buried under this
Yeah,
massive
yeah.
brisket.
There you go.
There you go.
Just go corn.
Straight corn.
Unreal. Unreal. I want to go for a little more. Wow.
That might be hands down the best corn dish I've ever had. That's so good. It's so creamy.
Yeah. And then we cut it with the brisket, which is like a really tender meat.
Meaty.
It's also really fatty.
Also with the lime in there, the
Yeah.
chili, the cilantro. Like,
Yeah.
man, that's phenomenal.
Right? Wow. That's really jumping. That's like really jumping out at us.
Yeah.
That's really fantastic.
This is the first spot we've hit, and already I'm like, this is incredible.
Yeah.
where are we going from here?
Other
Like,
places might be in trouble.
This is a high bar already.
Yeah. Beans, 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 beans. You've not had beans like this.
No,
And that's all. That's all the eating I will do.
tapping out.
shake
Ooh, there's
some
like
bacon
the
in
meat in there. It's
Yeah,
like
it's got
bacon in the
there,
beans.
yeah. Too funny. Under no circumstances will you not eat meat when you eat here. Even the veggie sides, even the beans and the corn have meat in it. Right?
So good.
That's so incredible, isn't it?
That broth that they're using, that is
I like the
so
consomme,
much
yeah.
flavor in that.
Right? You can see why this is like
Holy moly.
top 10.
Yeah.
Why they're like, this is one of the best in the state. Like, people take this very seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is it's not a hobby, is it? It's like a lifestyle for a lot
Yeah,
of these
exactly,
people.
yeah. The consistency that they have on the plate here, everything is 10 out of 10, A+.
I mean, this has been an incredible start. Like, this is so good. Everything is amazing, and it's very different to anything that I can get in the UK.
Hang on, my man. We still have 3 more places in Dallas to go, and let's hit the second spot right now.
All right, let's go.
Hi, we're on the way to the next place, and Harry insists on watching a soccer game on his phone.
It's not just a soccer game, Joe. England are in the Euro semi-final, and
A
unfortunately,
semi-final of what?
the Euro Championship.
What? There's always a tournament over there. The Euro Never heard of the Euro Championship.
It's all of the best nations in Europe competing to be the best.
How many are there total?
Loads. Loads
In
of
Europe?
European- Yeah, loads of European nations.
There
Don't-
can't be more than 12.
Don't be such an American. There are way more than 12 European
Each
nations.
country-
Go on, Phil! That's in. That's got to be in. Oh, you joking? No way.
I've never seen him this animated about anything.
Oh, how's that not gone in? It looked like he went in. I think he's cleared it off the line.
It'll happen. Oh my God.
How you doing, man? How are the meat sweats?
We've eaten a dangerous amount of meat today. And before we shuffle off this mortal meat coil, I had to take you here to the Lockhart Smokehouse. We're at an institution
Yeah?
of barbecue. 3 locations in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Obviously Dallas, the one we're at. It's also got one in Plano and Arlington.
Okay. Can I point something obvious out?
Oh, sure.
We're not in Lockhart right now.
No, correct. Okay, so quick Texas barbecue history. Lockhart, the town, which is south of Austin, is considered to be the barbecue capital of Texas. So there was a meat market there, Kreitz Market, I believe is how it's pronounced. And for years and years and years, that was one of the destinations to get barbecue. The great-granddaughter of the person who ran that eventually left and started the Lockhart Smokehouse restaurant, paying homage to the way they do barbecue in Lockhart.
Okay, so like a tribute to her history. Her
Absolutely, absolutely. And the fact that it is known for making barbecue to the same quality as you get in Lockhart is no small feat. So if that is the best barbecue in Texas, and this place does it as good as they do it there, and 1 + 1 = 2, we're here and we're trying the barbecue here, and it's going to be ridiculous.
Barbecue math.
Yeah,
That's math I can get behind.
Remember I mentioned it was a meat market?
I do.
They were so authentic to the old school meat market in which this whole thing started. When they first opened up for years, they had a sign that said, no sauce, no forks. Eat it with your hands, and if you want sauce, get lost.
I see they have now caved to the masses. I will say, like, so far, we haven't really had meat that's required sauce.
I don't want to say I'm anti-sauce, but I think it's a strong argument to make. If they're like, this doesn't need sauce, I'm not adding sauce. I'm big on how do they think we should eat it. Oh my God, how are you feeling, by the way?
I'm not doing too badly, actually, yeah.
Okay.
I've gotten much better at pacing myself over the course of, 4 seasons of food tours. And fingers crossed, knock on wood, I'm reaping the
I'm
rewards.
just having a hard time breathing. I am not agreeing with this environment at
Your
all.
allergies are not doing well. Also, it is super hot today. We're in Texas in July for some reason. It's like 35 Celsius and very humid. So that's been fun.
Yeah, but I feel a little smoked meat will take the edge off.
I think so, yeah.
Also, they have a burnt end Bloody Mary too early to drink.
No, absolutely not.
All right. What the hell? I got you the Bloody Mary beverage. That's definitely yours.
I heard burnt end Bloody Mary. I thought maybe one burnt end as a garnish.
Yeah,
I didn't
no.
think an entire skewer of meat. But here we go. I'm excited.
There you go, buddy. There you go. I'm exhausted and starving, so do we want to unwrap
Yep.
our gifts?
I think we should, yeah. It's like Christmas.
Yeah, I'll do this one.
So this was, I'm told, traditional back in the day, right? You'd go to the meat market.
Paper it.
They would effectively smoke whatever they had left over.
Yeah.
And then just serve it to you on butcher paper.
It's really cool over there. You order and the guy literally is like cutting it and then they weigh it and they charge you by weight. Oh, come on.
that Bakayo?
Did your team score a goal?
They did, yeah.
Wow. They got two in one game. Yay! Drink every time the lad scores.
You heathen.
3 sips later, what a game.
Man. Yeah, this is a heck of a spread, it has to be said.
We are eating here Lockhart's finest. Of course, the brisket, pork ribs, beef short ribs, turkey, sausage. I got the spicy mac and cheese.
Ooh, okay.
Look at this, just slides right off.
Cheers, man. I would say that's maybe not quite as soft as the other ones that we've had today, but I don't mind it. The kind of like steaky flavor is coming through from that quite a lot.
I want to say bark skin.
Yep.
What's it called?
Yeah.
Maybe the best flavor of skin we've had today.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Beefy brisket.
Yeah. Real good. Real good.
That's really
I'm
tasty.
curious. Sausage next?
Like famous Kreitz Market sausage.
Oh yeah.
So they get this in from Kreitz Market, right?
From the market.
Just chatting to Jill, the owner, and I think she said that her cousin ships this over from Kreitz. So barbecue is like a family business for
I
these
love
guys.
that, and that is an amazing sausage. I mean, I think they got the Lockhart pipeline. That is their competitive advantage. I think if somebody also wanted to do Lockhart style barbecue, it'd be an uphill battle with them with the connection. It's just smooth sailing downhill.
They got it locked down.
Yeah, they got the Lockhart locked down. Fantastic. I feel like I'm learning about sausage through you, a country where people eat sausage a lot. They have like sausage opinions. I'm noticing the difference in grain.
Right, yeah.
And the skin on this one was like a little bit like tighter than what I'm used to, which I like. It has like a really good snap to it.
Snappy. The flavor of that
snappy.
one. Flavor of that one's great as well. I'd say that's the closest we've had today to like a British sausage.
Okay.
In that I think it really like lets the pork come through the most.
Yeah.
It's not too heavy on the other things. It's like there's pepper in there, obviously. It's got a little bit of spice to it. But like pork is the predominant thing that you're tasting, which in my mind is how a sausage should be, you know?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, fantastic sausage. I want to try one of the
Sausage is
pork
good.
ribs.
Yeah, man, let's do it.
Grab one, I grab one. Ooh, I got like an end one. You can see the food this good, like no sauce. What are you putting? Why are you putting sauce on this?
You know what? Now you've said that, I'm gonna try it.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
I mean, it's not needed.
No, it's not. But they do have the option.
All right. Try with a little bit of sauce. That's great sauce, though.
It's a good sauce. It's like vinegary, like tangy, right?
Yes.
But again, like if I do that, all I'm really tasting is that sauce. I'm not tasting the meat as much. And the
Don't
meat is
spoil
really
it.
good.
That's cooked perfectly. That the smoker thing they got back there. This thing is ancient and still pumping out high quality meat.
Are you coming around to my stance on ribs in terms of like you don't want it to fall off the bone, or are you still kind of like craving a fall off the bone rib? Because again, this has like bite to it. You take a bite and it leaves the cartoon-shaped bite mark on
You know, before today or before right now, it probably would have been like a falling apart. But this one having like a stronger piece of meat, a tighter piece of meat staying in the bone, it's really good. So if this taste is indicative of it being like stronger, then yeah, I think I'm a fan of it now. I like how this is like they says the short ribs, like implying it's smaller.
It's not a short rib.
Yeah,
It's a short rib, but it's
can
not
I just
a short rib.
break off a piece here? Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can.
How tender this is, buddy.
Again, even when you can just get a plastic fork in it that easily, easy.
Yeah.
Tenderness.
Oh, the bark is really good. All right. Oh.
I always get the intrusive urge to just like gnaw this straight off the bone as well, but no, but, you know, can't ruin it for the crew like that. Oh man, look at that.
Yeah,
the colour on that, beautiful. Like crispy bark as well.
That's a really great bark. It's really great bark. Right?
Oh man.
Taking a bite of turkey. Taking a bite of mac and cheese, and that's it. My mouth is retiring for the night.
You're flagging a bit. I'm not doing too badly.
I'm very impressed. Why do you think it is?
I've gotten much better at pacing myself, and I'm also just a bigger guy. I can eat.
I cannot.
Weirdly, like, of the many things we've eaten today, that is one of the things where I think the smoke flavor is the most pronounced.
Yeah.
Even more so than some of the brisket I think that we've had.
Well, turkey usually has a more muted flavor to begin with, so it's probably why the smoke flavor is coming out so much.
Yeah. The turkey's like a blank canvas.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm not the biggest turkey guy, but that turkey's absolutely fantastic. And I know that they kind of do things their own way, but I wouldn't mind like them doing like a turkey sandwich.
Oh my God, we scored. Let's go. Sorry, man. Sorry to the people of YouTube.
Wasn't saying anything important, I don't think.
Well, you know what that means?
Was that?
The final is going to contain England, and it's happening on Sunday when we're shooting in Houston. So
Wait.
more of this.
Oh, so this is who goes to the final?
Yeah,
And who is the other team in the final?
Spain.
Oh, Spain's
We
gonna
watched them
kill you
yesterday.
guys.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
they're really good.
Yeah, it is really good.
Anyway, sorry, what were you saying, Joe?
Who cares?
Before I rudely interrupted
Moving
you.
on to the mac and cheese. It's my
So-
last bite. No, go ahead.
I was chatting to Jill, the owner,
Yeah.
and she was saying, and to be honest, like based on what we've tried today, I kind of agree that brisket and the kind of classics, I think everywhere now does them well.
Okay.
So it's all about the little things that can set things aside. So like
Yes.
stuff like the mac and cheese.
Oh, sure.
This can set things apart from other restaurants. You said it's spicy, right?
I said, give me spicy mac and cheese. I wonder what they think spicy is. I'm from Los Angeles.
It's got a little heat to it. A little bit.
I know what's spicy.
Like kind of like green chili, you know?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like dancing on my palate. Then if I pass out, just shovel a spoonful of that in my mouth, and I'm up, baby.
It's like,
Oh, man.
like smelling salts.
Yeah.
Just like waft that in front of you. Oh my God, I'm up.
like a cartoon character following it. Oh, that's fantastic. That's really good.
I never knew I needed spicy mac and cheese until now.
Do you want to try the cucumber salad?
Yeah, I think my body needs some kind of vegetables. So while I eat some cucumber salad, do you want to talk me through the experience of visiting Lockhart Smokehouse?
You know, I don't know if I'll ever make it to Lockhart's, but I like the fact that I have had what I will go to Lockhart for right here in Dallas. And they're doing a fantastic job. Everything was delicious. But we have a couple more top Texas barbecue joints that I have to take you to right now.
Should we do it?
Let's go. All right. So it wouldn't be a food tours episode without talking about the patron saint of food tours, Mr. Guy Fieri. His show, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives,
Triple D.
has featured 18 barbecue restaurants in Texas. The only number that's higher, I guess, in categories is New York pizza places.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
So it's like up there in terms of New York pizza as like iconic cuisine.
Yeah. He's definitely done his share of Texas barbecue. So, you know.
If it's good enough for Guy, then
Yeah.
it is very much good enough for me.
This is Smoky Joe's Barbecue. We're just a few miles south of downtown Dallas. Been here since 1985. The original owner's son took over in 2014, and since then he's made some gentle modifications. For instance, they had the old school pit, like a big fire pit where they're cooking. Swapped that out and got one of the offset smokers we saw earlier.
Very different skill sets, right?
Yeah.
Imagine you've got to like kind of relearn from scratch there, different way of cooking.
Yeah.
More like indirect heat versus direct heat.
Well, whatever he's doing, he figured it out, because you see this wall of awards.
There's been a lot of talk about Texas Monthly so far.
Of course, this place also made the list of top 50 barbecue spots in Texas. The list is actually overseen by this guy right here,
Okay.
Daniel Vaughn. This is the article he wrote about it. And the TLDR is, everyone should stop sleeping on this place because it's fantastic.
Okay.
So I've heard nothing but great things.
So we're not just here because it's got Joe in the name, we're here because it's good
Yeah.
barbecue as well. Okay.
I mean, maybe both those things, but yeah. Brisket here on the slightly leaner side, and they're smoking it with both hickory and oak wood. But they're more so known for the ribs, and they got a nice little spicy bite to them, seasoned to perfection. So we're definitely trying those.
Sure, absolutely. Anything else on the menu that we should try?
All right, let's go. Brisket, ribs. They're doing something called, pronouncing this wrong, a boudin, which is like a blood sausage, which you've had. You guys call them black pudding.
We have black pudding in the UK, which is our
Alright.
version of a blood sausage. I
Yeah,
feel like they
black-
exist in
yeah.
like a bunch of different cultures.
Yeah, yeah.
I've
Everyone's
seen,
got
like,
different
Korean
name for
blood
them.
sausage before.
Yeah, yeah.
Now we're trying the American version. All right.
I am actually still very hungry, and I'm ready to order. So, I'm gonna get some barbecue.
Absolutely, let's do it.
Let's do it. Dude.
Man, that is a plate.
Yes, sir. What'd I tell you?
I'm just like drinking this
What
in
did
at the
I
moment.
tell you?
This is
This is
so
amazing.
much meat.
Right? Yeah.
It looks
We
ridiculous.
got the hookup here, man. Two types of sausage. Look at that beautiful brisket, the ribs. This is, first time gotten white bread today. Happy to see it.
I don't really know where to start on this. I imagine the
So
brisket.
you're gonna go to the brisket.
Yeah,
I think
dig
I
straight
can
in.
it out of here. Yeah,
You're
yeah.
getting the fork involved.
Oh my god, it's so tender.
Your fork just went straight through that.
I guess it is like scoop out of
Oh my
bite.
god.
Oh, this looks so amazing.
Yes. Yeah, this is like I usually hate using plastic cutlery because I figure like you can't actually get into anything with it.
Yeah.
This meat is so tender.
You could have just pinched it.
Plastic cutlery is great.
Okay. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, man.
Incredible. Right? How amazing is that? So buttery, smooth. The bark on that is unreal.
You barely even have to chew that.
No?
I mean, almost like using my tongue to just like mash it against the roof of my mouth.
All right. Yeah, you have to describe to me eating.
It's a pleasant sensation.
Yes,
Oh, man.
it is impossibly tender. I don't know how else I could describe it. Once again, no sauce on there, no sauce on the table.
No,
But I mean, I don't know why you would put sauce in
doesn't
this.
need it. That almost
Sorry
has,
if anyone listening sauces it. I would not sauce this.
that almost like has the consistency of a sauce anyway. It's like, so like buttery and liquidy.
The ribs are what I would say are sauce kissed. So grab yourself a rib.
Little sauce.
Yeah, they're a little bit saucy.
The color on these is
All right.
beautiful.
Oh man, look how big these guys are. I'll have to kill this thing. This looks so good. Oh my god, get in here. Oh, falling off the bone. Wow, wow, wow.
You get like a real, almost like a snap from the skin on that,
Yep.
the coating.
I'm just going right to the sauce. I mean, they got the cheddar sausage here. Check us out. We're gonna
So we've got two sausages,
all the cheese they got here.
jalapeno cheddar again.
Yeah.
Popular flavor combo over here.
I'm gonna use this bread kind of like a plate and kind of get stuff, and then when I'm done, I'll just eat it.
Eat the bread with all the juices.
Fantastic. I'm gonna jalapeno cheddar sausage before, but this was like the cheese actually gooing out of it.
Yeah, I think I actually prefer the consistency of that sausage. It's like maybe a slightly coarser grind. Like you say, the fillings aren't kind of like ground all throughout. You get these kind of like veins of cheese going through it. Yeah,
So fantastic, right?
this is all really excellent.
Which one is this guy right here? This was
So
the
this
blood
was
one.
the boudin.
Yeah, the boudin. Yeah.
So this is like, I guess, America's answer to black pudding in the UK. Although this doesn't have like the color that I would expect from like a blood sausage.
That is closer to a UK sausage, right? You know, with the grit or the grain of it.
Possibly. I think again that's probably more because there's like, it looks like rice in there to kind of act as like the thing that soaks up all of that blood. It's got a really interesting texture. I like that a lot actually.
Now, you, my man, have yet to ever have a Frito pie.
Have you-
I think today is the day.
Talk me through Frito pie. What's
Okay.
going on here?
So, the base is Frito chips, or like corn chips, and this one has beans and also brisket on top of it, and what looks to be a white, possibly cheesy sauce. I don't know exactly what's on it.
So a basic Frito pie is Fritos with stuff on it.
Yeah, yeah. The Fritos part is like the key ingredient for the Frito pie.
And yeah, I mean, if you have this like insane brisket, why not put it on top of other stuff?
Right? The Fritos are really good because they're like, you know, salty chip, salty corn chip.
That's so good though. Where's this sauce as well? I'll, like stick my finger in it. It's subtly cheesy.
Yeah. Subtly cheesy.
Speaking of cheese, but less
Maybe it's
subtle.
the same sauce.
Mac and cheese?
Yeah. Is mac and cheese a big deal over in the UK?
Yeah, we like our mac and cheese. Well, this is more like pasta shells and cheese.
Yeah. Oh man. I'm starting to feel it. Starting to feel the day. This is so good.
So buttery.
Right? Yeah.
So good.
It's generous with the butter on that one for sure.
I think like the vibe I get from most of this is like simplicity is bliss, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
They're not doing anything too flashy with the seasoning rubs or the methods, but they're just
Yeah.
doing it like super well. So the end product, the tenderness is there, the flavors are there. You taste the meat, you know, more than anything else, which I think is what barbecue's kind of all about.
What is this down here?
I don't know. What are these little bits down here, Chris?
So that's a burnt end.
Burnt
Ah, burnt
There
end.
you go.
That's the best part of brisket, I like to call it. in
Yeah.
Texas. The money bite.
The money bite. There's a little end there to chop off because I want to have like a nice shape. It's part of it. All the flavor and crispiness. And cut it off, sell it separately.
So good.
Right? Burnt ends, buddy. Oh,
I'm trying a bean. I'm also
Oh, yeah.
starting to get full, but
British guys gotta use
yeah, I
beans.
gotta have my beans.
Right?
Hey,
Chris.
there we go.
Hello, hello.
Thank you very much. Have a seat.
Thank you so much. Oh man.
So, we love the food. Absolutely fantastic.
Phenomenal,
Terrific barbecue. Obviously, you guys know what you're doing. It seems like an incredible challenge, first of all, to make barbecue this good. But it seems like it's even more impossible for the consistency of doing this every single day. What are some tips or some things that you do, that you guys do, that you feels like you can always produce meat at this high quality every day?
Put love into it. Put love into it, care about it, and take your time. Barbecue always tells a story, and each meat tells a story the way you cook it. Whether you had your pit too hot, or whether you left it on there too long, it tells a story. So I feel like when you're putting love into it, you're paying attention to everything, to attention to detail, whether my fire is consistent, whether my brisket look like it needs to be wrapped, or whether my ribs look like they need to be sprayed, etc. All those attention to details are what essentially makes a consistent product day in and day out.
Yeah, it's great. What do you like on the menu here?
So my favorite is brisket. I feel like you come to Texas, you gotta get brisket and the bread. You know, I'll teach y'all how to make a fold over real quick.
Yeah, actually show him because
do it.
I couldn't speak specifically. I always kind of use the bread as like an edible napkin.
So what you do is you'll take this
Yep.
and a little bit of bread, and
little.
then this is the best part of the brisket. So I'm
just
gonna give you
rip it
this.
apart, yeah.
So you'll kind of put that
on
right
that.
there. We'll do
Beautiful.
it together.
Yeah.
And then so we'll take a little brisket, and then what you also want to do is we're gonna get
The little
a
pickles.
pickle.
Yeah.
Yep. Just a pickle right here.
Joe's not a pickle guy. Can you believe that?
Nap in the pickles.
I'm not a fan of pickles either until I try these pickles.
There you go, Joe.
So then we'll open this up.
Fold it
Get a
over.
little bit of barbecue
Little dip.
sauce.
Okay, oh my god.
Do you make the sauce in house?
Yes, sir.
There we go.
Right? How's that?
Oh,
Everything complements each other. That's the goal.
Nice, nice. Hey, slow down. We're going to another place after this. This guy won't stop eating.
it's so good.
Last question I'm going to ask you, and this is more personally for me. So you do some barbecuing at home. I got one of those big egg things that you can slow cook or whatever. I don't know what I'm doing, dude. I cannot with the temperature. Is it a wood thing? Is it the temperature? Have you ever used one of those things before?
Not yet.
It's, I mean, consider the setup you got, it would obviously be a step back. But this thing, I don't know. It's like wood. Should we really paying attention to woods?
Yeah, you just gotta take your time.
Okay.
That's the main thing. Take it a little slow.
Fantastic, man. Well, thank you so very much for all this. Everything was perfect. I really appreciate it. That was fantastic. Let's finish off with a little bit of dessert for your sweet tooth. I got the sweet potato pie. You have the...
Buttermilk pie, I believe you said this was. And they make all these in house?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's give this a go.
You're gonna stop the beat, switch with me. I know it isn't a pumpkin pie, but it's like the best pumpkin pie I've ever had. Oh my god. This might be the one. What do you think?
I get what you mean, like pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely incredible.
So good. The pastry, so flaky.
Perfect.
Buttery.
In-house.
In-house.
All right. Absolutely fantastic. Barbecue incredible. Desserts also incredible. Obviously, we could stay here and go to town, but we got one more place to go to.
I think the crew want to dive in on this,
Yeah.
so we'll let them do that, and then we'll head out.
Let's do it. My man, it's day 2 in Dallas. Hope you got your rest because we are on our way to another great barbecue spot. We're on our way to Goldie's.
I've heard much about Goldie's, actually.
Well, the Texas Monthly 50 Best Barbecue Spots says that this is, at least in 2021, the best barbecue in Texas.
Damn, okay. High praise.
Honestly, the highest praise.
Yeah, can't get much higher than that. And they're kind of hooking us up because they're not usually open today, right?
That's correct. So worked a little magic, turned on the old charm. They're making an exception for us to go open the doors, fix us a plate. So we won't get the full Goldie's neighborhood vibe experience, but we will definitely be getting the food, which is why we're here.
This is the first time that we've done an episode that we haven't shot all in one day, which
Yeah.
is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I'm quite grateful for the rest, honestly.
Yeah.
All the spots yesterday were great. I already feel like I'm getting a pretty solid grounding in Texas barbecue.
Yep.
Excited to now try what is supposed to be the best of the best.
The best of the best.
So I've been working on my Texas accent, or at least what I think is a Texas accent.
So what do you got?
Let's say, do people actually say howdy down here?
They say howdy. Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Howdy. I'm Harry. I'm from Dallas. Been living in the Fort Worth area for about 20, 25 years now.
It's like, at first, it's like, I don't really hear it, but if you say a long enough sentence, like, why don't you tell me you're going to go to the Walmart and then get something to eat at Chick-fil-A?
I'm going to go to the Walmart and then need to stop by and pick up some dinner from Chick-fil-A.
That's pretty
You
good.
need anything?
We are international chameleons. Drop us anywhere, and you'll think that we were born and raised there our entire lives. Here we are at Goldie's. Compared to a lot of the places we've gone to, this might be one of the more younger restaurants. It opened in 2020, beginning of 2020,
Yep.
and was named Best Barbecue in 2021. So, been a year opening. But the owners and operators of Goldie's Barbecue are some of Texas' highest pedigree of pitmasters. They trained at places like Franklin, Micklethwait, and more. to eventually start their own place. And hey, so far so good.
Seems to be working out, yeah. Number
Yeah.
one spot. That's a lot of pressure, I would say.
Uh-huh.
As soon as you get that, obviously it's a great thing to achieve.
Yeah.
But then people are coming here and they're expecting the best. You've got to keep delivering the best. You've got to be consistent. It's got to be good.
People line up. This is a place where people tailgate before they eat barbecue, and I think we're going to find out why.
I think one of the owners said we can go and check out the pit room. Do you want to go and see what's going on?
My man Jalen is back right now, overseeing some briskets that they're going to be serving tomorrow. So let's go chat with him and see what's going on.
Sounds great.
Let's do it.
The size of these things. This is so great.
So this is our 1,000-gallon decommissioned propane smoker. And this is where we cook all our briskets pretty much every week.
Okay, how many briskets do you do in one of these, I guess, a week?
So we can do, between these two right here, anywhere from 40 to 50 a day.
And you guys are only open on the week.
Yeah, so just Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And you go through 150 briskets a week.
Yeah,
Gee,
it's
it's
pretty
3 days.
crazy. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
So I'm bringing my friend here from overseas who has very little experience with American barbecue and especially Texas barbecue. So for other people watching, because the show is so popular around the world, and they're like, I am gonna go to Texas and then get me some barbecue. What do you think are some like key components, Texas barbecue must-haves? What would you say?
You really want to go out here for a brisket. That's what we do best out of, I think anybody in the world.
Yeah.
So you definitely want to come here and get some of the brisket. And really just be ready to wait in some lines. I know barbecue, not just us, everybody kind of has a line to wait in, but it's kind of fun. It's kind of like a tailgate.
Nothing brings people together like hot meat.
Oh, yeah.
British people, look, we don't really tailgate. That's not really a thing in the UK, but we do love a queue.
Yeah.
Do you remember when the Queen died? R.I.P.
All right. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
made
no,
local news. Yeah. Awesome. Anyway,
People were lining up for like 20 hours just because you could walk past and like see the coffin.
Yeah.
So I think if we can do that for the Queen, we can do that easily for delicious barbecue.
so
You said it, not me. But
Texas barbecue is the Queen's death.
Right,
As
yeah.
I say, those two things are similar.
Equally significant,
Yeah.
definitely
Very good,
Queen,
very good,
brisket. Right, let's run out there.
Is there any chance we could see some meat that's cooking right now?
yeah, for sure.
Let's check it out. Yes! Yes! Are you kidding me on this? Are you gonna be serving this tomorrow?
Yeah, so this will be tomorrow. They've been on for about 6 hours at this point. They probably got another 6 to 7 to go.
Not asking for any trade secrets, but this brisket, of course, you season it salt and pepper and your own spice blend. And for a binder, can you say what you use to keep it in there?
So that's one thing. It's not even a secret. We just use water. We've used all the binders before in the world. Water is gonna do the same trick.
Really?
It's, it's free. So yeah, you might as well. Yeah.
Got it. Water. All right, there's a tip. Use water. Awesome.
Save those costs
All
wherever
right,
it helps.
I am starving. You want to go get some barbecue?
Yeah, I guess they're not open today, but you saved us some food, right?
Oh yeah, I got some for y'all.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, let's eat.
Let's eat.
Yes. Yes. All right. Oh my God. Harry, you're missing quite a show over here, pal, with the Pokemon Go.
Distracted by Pokemon, sorry.
What is this guy doing? Hey! What are you doing?
That's the new Pokemon, man.
That's ridiculous.
Forget about it. Forget about it.
Oh my God, dude. Considering they're not even open today, and look at the plate they put together for us. This is magnificent.
I would have been grateful if they just saved us like a couple of ribs and some brisket,
Yeah.
but no, we have the full
My
pretty
guy
much
went
Goldie's
all out with
experience.
this. This is so generous of them to do this when they're closed.
How incredible does this look as
This
well?
looks absolutely amazing. Obviously, brisket, ribs, sausage, turkey, potato salad, house-made bread, slaw, and I don't know what this is.
Looks to me like some kind of like maybe apple cider vinegar sauce type thing.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah. Start with the brisket.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Oh yeah. Again, it's like fork
Yep.
tender.
Hands shaking.
Man.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, man.
Amazing. I gotta go in for another bite. Absolutely incredible. Okay, so
The bark.
the bark, the fact that it's still binding, just using water, the guy said, didn't see a difference. Mm-hmm. Seasoned perfectly. It is melting. We saw his briskets in the cooker there. One distinction, they obviously cook them low and slow, but they never wrap their briskets.
No.
Some people do at certain points, but they don't. I don't know how that affects the cook at all, but in this case, it has made maybe the best brisket I've ever tasted. This is incredible.
I've heard Aaron Franklin of Franklin Barbecue.
Yeah.
You know, people like wrap their brisket in foil.
Uh-huh.
He calls that like the Texas crutch.
In what
Because it's
regards?
kind of like it allows you to, I think, just like cook it worse, basically, but still end up with a juicy brisket.
Like, do you mean that people, because it's kind of like to hide potential mistakes?
It's more just that it traps in a lot more of that moisture.
Ah.
So you can have like a bit more direct heat compared to that offset smoker heat. And
Wow,
you can still
alright.
come up with a nice brisket. Whereas this, I think if they're not using any wrapping, that means that they know exactly what they're doing.
I want to say I'm really
with the
proud of
brisket.
you for looking that up and then bringing that to this conversation, because when I visit you, I do zero research. Literally zero.
It shows.
Yeah, thank you.
That was so good though, man.
Let's just come over
Jeez.
by
I need a
here.
little more. Again, the benefit of doing this on a different day,
Yeah.
we can properly dig into the food. Oh, so good. I'm already realizing there's a fine line with brisket between like tender and too tender.
Okay.
Because I think for this, like, it's kind of my ideal consistency.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah.
Because it does melt, but like there's a little bit of chew to it.
Yeah.
Bit of resistance.
You know what I mean? It's our human instinction to like eat meat.
Right.
It's okay to say that at this point no vegetarians have stopped watching.
Yeah, no, they've tuned
Okay,
out.
it's like just like it's inherently in us to eat flesh.
I think it is.
And I think when it's too soft, it's like, oh, my hunter instincts are
Yeah.
not being tapped right now.
What is this, like
yeah.
broccoli or something? No,
No,
come
no,
on.
no,
Yeah, it's some meat.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, that's sensational.
No notes on that brisket. Absolutely perfect. I want to try one of the ribs.
I would love to try one of
Okay.
those. These look gorgeous.
Now, he said there was a sauce on these?
Yeah, so they are glazed a little bit,
Uh-huh.
similar to their house barbecue sauce, but
Yeah.
I think slightly spruced up for the ribs, you know. Let's try.
Wow. And look at this, dude. I can just pull it off the bone.
That's definitely on the more tender side, more up your street,
Yep.
but the flavors as well.
Wow.
What are you tasting now? I'm getting like a little cumin for sure.
Yeah, there's a sweetness to it. Mm-hmm. Right?
No. Yeah, whatever that sauce that goes on here is, delicious. Liquid gold.
Dude, I can't believe how good this is. We've been eating barbecue for like 2 or 3 days straight. Mm-hmm. And like I thought like I'm gonna get burned out by the fact that like I'm loving this, dude. I'm loving this.
Cleaned that bone.
Yep.
Yeah. What is that sauce, by the way? I'm still intrigued by that sauce.
I don't know what it is. It's close to the pork belly, so why don't we just try it? I'll dip the pork belly in it, you think?
Do it, man. Pork belly, not something that we've seen on menus so far, I don't think. It's a cut of meat that I actually love.
I'll get in there, try that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like got a really high fat content. Yeah, that was kind of just like the best bacon I've ever had in my life.
Incredible. You know, we're jumping around a little bit, but I feel like it'd be remiss if I didn't do what we learned at Smoky Joe's. Mm-hmm. Well, brisket, pinching it in here, right? That's how we do it.
Any
And
of the pickles over here that I've dumped my rib
Not a-
bone straight on top
Thank
of?
you very much. Not a big pickle guy, but when in Texas,
There is some sauce.
so gonna do a little.
This bread is so light. So they're even making their own bread. Because I know that some places will go for like a cornbread with barbecue, but
Yeah.
Texas is more of like a white bread thing, right?
And barbecue, yeah, but they'll do both.
They've found a way to make just like white bread exciting, which I think is really cool. Really good sauce. Quite
Fantastic
light,
sauce.
surprisingly light for a barbecue sauce.
But pairing it with a savory meat that also is so rich and fatty, there's an acidity to this, like balances it out, right? They're very smart in pairing. I mean, I guess every place does this, but here specifically, pairing that like specific type of sauce to their meat. It's so like incredibly considered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a sausage that has been calling my name. Oh my god! And the snap.
Little casing snap
Have
there.
a slice there. You know, when it comes to sausage, I think we've established that both of us are big snap heads.
Snappy boys.
Yeah, we're the snappy boys. Like, we don't want no weak-skinned sausage. We want that snap.
Cheers, my man.
Yeah. You're the resident sausage expert. What do you think?
That's really good. Again, maybe like a more of a fine grind than we've had so far.
Uh-huh.
Little like specks of
Yeah.
cheese throughout the sausage there.
Oh, wow.
So good. Turkey?
wow.
Any Texas vegetarian?
The knife shows up for the first time. Compliments to the chefs, to the pitmasters.
And you know, nothing cleanses your palate quite like a sip of big red soda.
No, I love how you're already a big red.
I love big
in
red
Texas for 3 days. And you're just big red.
So Texas pilled.
Yeah. I do with the sauce. I do without the sauce, but it's turkey.
I went sauceless. Still good.
You saw when he brought it out and he was slicing it. It just looks like succulent. For the fact that like usually turkey is like famously a dry meat, but the fact that this is still retains that flavor and that juiciness. It's amazing.
Most British people's experience of turkey is just through Christmas dinners.
Yeah.
Which is when we do a big roast turkey.
I
And
think
you
guys
write,
do turkey or you do.
usually turkey.
I think you guys did like a goose or something.
Maybe more in like Edwardian times. Ebenezer Scrooge cooking his goose.
Well, that for you guys, that was like a couple of years ago, right?
Walking into the butcher shop in our top hat.
That's
Good day,
right.
sir.
I got to pick up a fat goose before I got to get to the candlestick maker before he closes down. Get back on the pea green ferry, man. Yeah, I know all about it. Yeah.
But like a lot of people's Christmas dinner experiences are like, you have the turkey, but the turkey's not the main event. It's like,
Okay.
it's a bit dry, it's a
Yeah.
bit bland.
Yeah.
Whereas this is like, it's so flavorful.
That's perfect. Yeah, but I think we're sharing the same sentiment that turkey traditionally is like this big hunk of meat that's dry. You got to drown in gravy or something to like get it down. But this, I added the sauce just almost like habitually because the sauce is fantastic, but doesn't need it. That's another thing. I'm going to put a finer point on it. Every meat is tender. Every meat is delicious. Everything works together. Everything works on its own.
Yeah.
And if you add the sauce, it's great. Don't add the sauce, also great.
Yeah.
It's really. That's a very hard line to walk.
It really is. I want to try some potato salad
Yeah.
while it's here. Get a little scoop of this. So we're saying like, it's more like a mashed potato salad type of vibe.
Yeah. You guys, potato sauce really not a thing over there, is it?
People do eat it. It's more common to like boil some new potatoes maybe, dice them up and then put some mayo and mustard
Yeah,
and
hurry
stuff
up and
in
eat
there.
that.
Not
Sorry, I'm
much.
gonna cut you off, but it's really good. Right? It's got a nice like vinegary aftertaste, tang. but
Vinegary, mustardy.
Let you know it's there. Not overpowering though. Smooth,
No.
creamy.
I think when it's this creamy, you need those like alliums in there.
Yeah.
Balance that out. That's beautiful. Oh man, I could kill this whole plate.
Yeah. Well, why don't we? I mean, let's do the slaw.
Bit of kale, kale,
Is that
cabbage.
kale
Looks like kale, some kind of green.
Kale.
It might just be that my body is already like crying out for nutrients, but
Okay.
that's really hitting.
It's fantastic. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Got any notes for Goldies so far?
No. Now, if I may even quote Texas Monthly, who crowned them the best barbecue in Texas, they
You may.
said, Goldie's demonstrates a confident restraint that belies the pitmaster's youth.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what belie means, but it sounds like they're complimenting them.
I think it's basically saying that if you're like a young upstart newcomer to the scene,
Yeah.
the temptation is to be like, we've got to do something brand new. We've got to change the game.
Yeah.
That's not really what they're doing here. They're not reinventing the wheel. They've just taken an already pretty much winning formula and just made little subtle changes, little subtle improvements. And it honestly all adds up to like such an amazing plate of food.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Which leads us to the end of this video. We've been in Dallas for a couple of days. We tried 4 fantastic barbecue restaurants over the past 2 days. And now we have to pick our favorite. Okay, running down the hits real quick. Panther City.
Really love Panther City.
Yeah.
They're putting a slight twist on things with the kind of like Tex-Mex, Hispanic influences on the food. Particular shout out to the brisket elote cup,
Yeah.
which is one of the best mouthfuls of food that I've had in Dallas, full stop.
Yeah. Next location, the Lockhart Smokehouse. They are doing something really awesome there, which is taking the tradition of barbecue from the barbecue capital of Texas, arguably the world, and bringing it to the Dallas area. No easy feats. And they got 3 locations doing it too, which just seems really difficult. But they are keeping a tradition of barbecue alive and well at the restaurants.
Yeah, I like that. It's, again, very traditional, paying homage to Kreitz. The sausage that they get straight from Kreitz,
Yeah.
possibly my favorite sausage we've had in Dallas.
Really?
Yeah, I
Really?
think that's probably beating
Yeah.
out all the other options. And they have forks and sauce now, so
That's right.
who says they're resistant to change?
That's right. That's right. Afterwards, we went to Smoky Joe's.
Again, I think a bit of a theme so far is that like people are respecting the history of a place,
Yep.
but making their own little subtle imprints on it.
Very impressed with Smoky Joe's because they are definitely walking the fine line of keeping up with barbecue tradition, but also graduating into more modern times, not only with stuff on the menu, but even how he actually was running his business. So a very hard thing to do. He's doing it so well, and it was all on the plate. Everything was so good. That brisket, mwah. And some say that they're most known for the ribs, and those ribs were really fantastic, right?
Yeah,
I think it's the one you actually bit through the bone.
I did, yeah, it was so tender I could actually crunch the bone.
Wow.
I did really like it there. Those desserts as well.
Oh yeah.
Those pies, man.
I mean, I'm sure every
Yeah.
place has really good desserts, but those pies.
Those homemade pies were serious.
Fantastic. Yes. All right, and then the last spot, Goldies.
Goldies. I mean, I feel like as we've been going through the plate, you and I have both shared several knowing glances.
Yeah. So yeah, one thing that I don't know if you're with me long enough and spend enough time with me, there's few things that I hate more in the world than standing in line.
Yeah.
I rarely get in line for anything I don't have to. I usually make decisions on where I'm going to eat or where I'm going to go based on how little the line is. But eating this barbecue, this is the first time I was like, yeah, I'd wait 4 hours for this, gladly, now that I've had it. This was just dynamite. A+ across the board. I mean, they're not even open today. The plate they put together here is just absolutely fantastic. Ribs, meat's falling off the bone. The sauce they're putting on there, incredible. But the brisket, oh, the brisket.
Yeah, pretty much agree with you. I think in terms of like breaking down the menu into different components, my favorite brisket that we've had in Dallas, and also I think my favorite ribs that we've had in Dallas. I've actually maybe slightly come around to your, falling off the bone style of
I
rib.
like that. Yeah, look.
Because these are some of the more tender ribs that we've had.
Yeah.
And I love that.
We are animals by nature, so
We
it's
are.
in our DNA to rip flesh off of bone.
It really is.
So if you had to pick thus far the favorite barbecue you have had in the great metropolitan area of Dallas-Fort Worth, what would be your favorite? Goldies. I 100% agree.
I gotta say, I was apprehensive because I did some research, saw that they were number one.
Yeah.
When you're number one, the only way to go kind of is down.
And everyone's going after the crown, too.
Everyone's coming for you. Everyone's coming for you. So I was like, can they possibly maintain these high standards?
And
And I've tried it, and they absolutely can.
they absolutely have.
They
I mean,
really, really
they've exceeded my expectations. I, too, was like, here we go. Here's the best. Okay. Every place we went to for this video has something going for it that would make it an absolute must-try. But this one just edged out everyone else a little bit. And yeah, this is the best. But we're not done, my man. About to hit the road and go to Austin.
Okay, more
Ready?
barbecue awaits.
More barbecue awaits. Okay, we're on our way to Austin, Texas. How you feeling, buddy?
I'm feeling good. Dallas-Fort Worth kind of brought the heat, Goldies, that last spot. Fantastic
Fantastic,
barbecue.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we got more barbecue to eat, and Austin has some of the best spots in Texas. I cannot wait.
Me neither. Let's go. Let's hit the road.
We're here in Austin, Texas. I'm taking you to some of the best barbecue spots in Austin and arguably Texas. Austin's been a heavy hitter in the barbecue scene in Texas since like the early 2000s, the aughts.
The naughties, as we say in the UK.
The what?
The naughties?
Why would you call them the naughties?
Because another word for zero is like naught.
No, it isn't.
It is in the UK.
We go aughts.
Naughties is way more fun.
So I'm never saying that.
Sure. You don't want to get naughty with me, Joe?
Okay, between the year 2000 and 2010, at some point in that decade, whatever we're calling it, the naughties, Austin kind of had this like, I don't know, resurgence implies that it happened before, I think.
Yeah.
So surgence.
Surgeons.
Yeah, barbecue places. And now today, Austin is one of the best barbecue cities in Texas, and that's why we were here.
Okay, I'm very excited.
Yeah, you ready to eat?
Very much so.
All right, let's get started. Harry,
Joe,
what's going on with the shirt, man?
do you not like the shirt?
Hey, you look like you just came from Vice City.
I have this thing where I buy all my clothes from like Uniqlo or Marks and Spencer's and they're very plain, so I'm trying to jazz it up for you. It's,
Nice.
it's for your benefit.
Well, I appreciate it. Well, thank you for taking your time off from selling DVD players in Queens to join me here in Austin. Interstellar Barbecue. You can see the logo back there. This location right here in 2021 in Texas Monthly's every 4-year best barbecue in Texas list. Interstellar, number 2 on the list.
Number 2.
Second only to Goldies, which we went to in our Dallas-Fort Worth episode.
I like the vibe in here, it's cool.
Yeah, really cool.
Just looking at the menu, seems a little less traditional than some of the places that we've been to so far. There's some flavors on the menu that excite me. I've seen duck on the menu already.
They have taken over the parking lot. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, possibly 6 of their own offset smokers out there. Here's what I'm thinking. Now, in Austin, although every place you're going to does things slightly differently, I want to get a good baseline of what we're going to be trying. So at each place, we're going to do the holy trinity of barbecue. Okay, yeah, actually, bring it closer to me. Okay. Brisket.
For the people at home.
Down here is going to be sausage,
Sausage,
and over here, ribs.
Perfect.
Right there. Okay, perfect.
brisket, sausage, ribs.
Yeah. And then we're gonna get a few sides, a few specialties that each place does. They're gonna be opening in a few minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and get us some food. Ready to eat, buddy?
I'm very ready. Let's go.
Let's do this.
Let's go, baby.
Stop dancing.
I can't. It's my excitement dance. Look at that, man.
Not to lose my mind. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you kidding me? Right?
I
They
mean-
opened the doors 15 seconds ago. You can see the line behind us. People, this place is about to get mobbed. Dude, how lucky are we? First barbecue of the day, just by looks alone. This is absolutely incredible. This is so amazing. Okay, so here's what we got. Brisket, of course, we're getting the brisket. Frito pie sausage. I already see all the bits of the good stuff in there. Sausage looks incredible.
Yeah.
Over here we have a peach tea glazed pork belly, ridiculous. A duck confit, that is a special today. We got the beef ribs right over here. Scallop potatoes, and a South Texas pork hash.
Just from the eye test, you can see this isn't the most traditional barbecue that we've had so far.
Okay.
I'm seeing the beef ribs with the chimichurri on them.
Yep.
The fact that there is a duck leg on the menu.
Amazing.
The glaze on that looks so
It's
good.
it's just like if I close my eyes, I can still see it. Like when you look at the sun, it's like it's that bright and beautiful, right? Does that make sense?
Shining,
Yeah.
gleaming,
It's like,
yeah.
oh wow, whoa, goodness.
But then
Yeah.
also the brisket does look pretty classic. I mean, you're in Texas, you're serving brisket, you're serving barbecue. It's got to be what people expect and what people come to want from Texas barbecue. I
My
suppose.
hands are shaking. I want to eat this so
Should we eat?
bad.
Should we dive in?
So I think we should dive in.
The brisket test?
First things first. Let's get in that brisket.
Straight through there again. The tenderness.
Okay,
of
so
this
already the tenderness
is ridiculous.
is incredible.
Cheers.
Cheers, my man. Absolutely perfect.
Great bark on it.
Oh yeah, the bark is incredible.
On the slightly saltier side, not overly salty.
Yeah,
get some
but
pepper,
you also see like the garlic in there as well, which is a really nice touch. Perfect consistency. Nice, soft, juicy, succulent, dare I say.
And in that sweet spot of like, yeah, it melts, but like there's a chew to it. It's got some bite.
We saw them earlier working out there doing that. Like the taste of the wood, the taste of that smoke in there is like just perfectly complements the meat so well. You know what I mean? I mean, I guess we could do.
Work our way around
Okay,
clockwise.
let's do a sausage. Let's do a sausage already. Can
These
tell
are
it's gonna
these are
have a
chunky, man.
serious snap. A Frito pie. So if it has,
Frito
I'm
pie.
assuming obviously chunks of Fritos in it.
Cheese in there as well.
Yeah, I think beans. What we got in there? Yeah, oh yeah.
Can I do this all in one? Yeah.
I mean, after this trip, can you seriously go back to London and enjoy a sausage, knowing what we're doing in sausage over here in America? I think you guys got so comfortable in your sausageness of just having it all the time, you felt like, we got this figured out. There's no way you're eating sausage this good in the UK.
People aren't getting that creative. I think you are right on that. People aren't as creative with their sausages in the UK. For the most part, we have our standards and we stick to them. That's so good. You really taste the Fritos, right?
Yeah. You didn't even know what a Frito was before you got here.
I know.
The inventiveness to take the flavor profile of something that people do see in barbecue a lot, a Frito pie, and go, I'm going to go the sausage route, and then make something that is arguably the best sausage and arguably the best Frito pie I've ever had. What the team's doing here is being inventive in all the right ways, right?
It's easy to do invention for the sake of invention,
Yeah.
but I don't think that's what this is. Like,
it's
it's
fantastic.
invention that in like a very loving way that kind of honors what it's
Yeah.
inventing, I suppose, or like reinventing.
Speaking of which,
I really want to try this pork belly, man. This looks crazy.
peach tea glaze. What a brilliant idea.
So thick. That's peachy.
That's amazing. Of the pork belly we've had, I think the sweetness has been derived more from like a sweet barbecue sauce. Or,
Bit of a-
obviously it's barbecue, but like this is the first time that pork belly or anything we've had, the sweetness has been derived from a specific fruit.
Yes.
In this case,
Yeah.
peach and tea.
That's so good.
And oh my god, yeah.
Well, I think in general, sweet and salty or sweet and savory is such a good flavor combination. I love it. In the UK, we have like pork and apple sauce. Is that a thing you guys do?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like an established flavor pairing, but with that kind of Texas twang on it, you know? Texas twist. I know we've got so much more to eat today, but this is so tasty.
Man, this is trouble, this place.
More people need to cook pork belly. I feel like it's still an underappreciated cut of beef.
Yeah.
Beef, pork. More people
I
need to
think
cook-
pork belly's pork.
Yeah.
I think.
The amount of fat in there, I think, scares some people. But if you cook it like this, that like low and slow, give it that love, that fat just melts in your mouth.
So great. So great. I mean, we went back in for seconds for that. I mean, that tells you everything, right? Little duck confits. Now, do you know what makes the confit?
Firstly, I know you don't pronounce the T. It's duck confit. It's French.
So? They don't say T's over in France?
Not really. So confit.
Yeah, you're right. I guess they don't.
No.
They call it the Eiffel Hour.
Arc de Triomphe. Yeah. Confit is where you basically take a piece of meat, like in this case duck, and you kind of like slowly cook it in its own fat.
Yeah.
It's a very gentle cook, so you end up with this really like flaky, tender meat. I saw this on the specials board and was like, we gotta get this.
Wow. This is a special today? Right?
Oh man.
Oh, tough to get this on the menu permanently, but if they did, wow.
Duck in general, slightly trickier piece of meat to work with. So the fact that they've taken it, put it on a barbecue menu, which I don't think is common at all.
Yeah.
And done something that delicious with it, it's so good.
All right. We got our beef ribs.
Even these looking the same. I love a good chimichurri. Oh yeah. Oh man.
Every time we eat something, I'm like, I think that's the best thing we've had.
Yeah.
And now that I had that, like, I think that's the best thing
I
we've
immediately
had.
just forget the previous.
Yeah. Wow.
That chimichurri is so like garlicky and fresh.
Yeah, and it pairs with this succulent meat perfectly. All right, so we did the protein tour.
Yep.
And so far everything was fantastic. We got sides.
We do have sides.
Why don't we start with the scalloped potatoes, because those are a permanent menu installation.
Ooh, yeah, I like smoky.
And now I'm like, that might be the best thing we've had here. It's so incredible, those potatoes.
That's so good. So rich and creamy. You get the smoke flavor as well, right?
Yes. And here's the thing, they're not too rich or too creamy. That is a thing I want to point out, that as difficult as it is to do this, the restraint, the perfection, the dialed in flavors, everything has such a perfectly rich, full, considered flavor, but nothing is too overwhelming, nothing is like too in your face. This is the
South Texas style hash.
Yep. Right? Fantastic.
Oh, it's so rich.
Isn't that really good? Really good?
A little bit of heat.
Oh yeah, there's a little bit of spice to it.
This is a serious plate of barbecue.
I'm loving this, dude. I'm loving this.
Man.
I could stay here all day and rip on you in that shirt.
My chickens.
I think the drapes in my great aunt's house.
Your great aunt sounds like she has incredible style.
Did you buy that online?
No, in store. I tried it on and was like, yeah, this is the one.
And the guy at the store said you were the only one who could pull it off?
The only guy he's ever seen pull it off.
That's really good.
It actually cost like $1,000 because the pattern's so complicated as well.
Yeah. All right, well, this was fantastic, but we got more barbecue to hit, so ready to go?
I have saved some room. Let's go eat.
Let's do it. Did you ever see the movie Interstellar?
I did. The first time I ever watched it was on a plane.
That's the way to watch it, baby. That's the way to watch it. With the headphones they give you?
Yeah.
I do that too.
Terrible
I make a
audio.
point to do that, yeah.
Terrible quality. And it was, I felt kind of like I was Matthew McConaughey, you know, when he's like hurtling through space, watching the video messages from his daughter. Have you seen the movie?
I have seen it, but I wasn't paying attention.
No, okay.
I was on my phone for most of it, but it looked like it was pretty good. Stop to Franklin Barbecue. Of course I took you to Franklin Barbecue. Of course I took you here. Our Franklin Barbecue run by Aaron and Stacy Franklin, hence the name, Franklin Barbecue. The constantly mentioned in this series, Texas Monthly Best Barbecue list. In 2013, number 1. 2017, and number 2, right?
Yeah.
That's 8 years of being in the top 2.
Hell of a run.
They have won a James Beard Award. Jimmy B even was...
Big Beardy.
Yeah, unbelievable. Also, did you know the reason it's called the James Beard Award is because the guy who would initially go and do the rankings wanted to go incognito, so he wore a fake beard?
I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm willing to believe it, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds true.
Yeah, it sounds true. It's believable.
We saw the line in front, and there was no way I was going to wait on it for 3 hours. So real barbecue heads in Austin know that, yes, you can wait in line forever if you want. Or you can do what I did, what is put in a pre-order. You can do it up to 40 days ahead of time and just come here, sit at the picnic tables, go get it, let them know that you're here, and eat whenever you arrive.
It's a hot day. I'm very glad you did that because yeah, that line is long. The demand is high.
Awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Fantastic.
Oh, the room.
My goodness.
Some utensils for you.
Oh, wow. So
Perfect.
generous. Thank
Incredible.
you very much.
Yes.
Well, this is certainly a plate of barbecue.
They hooked us up here, buddy. They hooked
really
us
did.
up. You know, we got the brisket, we got ribs, little pulled pork, turkey, sausage, potato salad, and coleslaw. Plenty of picks, plenty of raw onion. Got them beans.
My beloved baked beans.
And half a loaf of bread. They said this was for 2 people. I don't know which 2 they were referring to. Certainly not you or I.
Matt Stoney and Joey Chestnut, maybe
Yeah.
some competitive
Yeah, no
eating
kidding. This
crew.
This is amazing. What do you think? First impressions?
I mean, it looks incredible.
Yep.
These ribs, like the coating that they've got on those ribs, the amount of juice that's just like seeping out of them.
Yep.
Wow, wow, wow.
Also, Table has got their own type of sauce.
sauce.
They got the original, they got the spicy, you got the vinegar one down there. I want to start with the brisket, but I feel that this brisket, you should know, is like the brisket that arguably started the barbecue renaissance here in Austin, Texas. Okay, so Franklin known for a lot of things, but when it comes to brisket, this guy's like a brisket scientist. So many very minute details that he pours over in his cookbooks to really dial in getting the brisket perfect. Even goes so far as to cut it in a certain way or get a certain shape one, and like leans in the aerodynamics of how the hot air off the offset smoker goes over it for the cook. I mean, he gets granular in more than one way.
He literally wrote the book on brisket then.
He literally, arguably 2 books.
2 books on brisket.
All right.
I mean, I didn't even use a fork there. I'm sorry if that's bad manners. I just pulled, and a little bit of give,
Yeah,
but then bang.
this
Look
looks
at that.
pretty incredible, right?
The smoke ring on that.
That's unbelievable. His attention to the smoking, the wood, the heat, the time, everything. It's so dialed into absolute perfection, that brisket, right?
He's really cracked the code. That is so good. That is on, I would say, like the butterier side of briskets that we've had so far. Melts in your mouth.
Yeah.
Little bit of chew on the edge around the kind of like smoke ring bark area. Really tasty. We're, like one of the smokier briskets as well, I think, that we've had.
Okay.
I think for me, at least, when I try that one, the flavor of the smoke is much more prominent than it has been in some of the other ones, which personally I really like.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's a fantastic brisket.
So obviously Franklin's is doing some of the best brisket in Texas.
Yeah.
But like, was there a point where brisket became a real Texas thing? Because I feel like it hasn't always been the case.
Yeah, like what happened was when, you know, first of all, brisket was always a meat that Jewish, especially Ashkenazi Jews, could have because it adhered to their dietary restrictions. So smoking brisket was already a thing with them. And then when all those immigrants came over to America and found that beef was so readily available, especially here in Texas, they just started selling smoked brisket in delis as early as like the 1900s.
Oh, wow. 'Cause I know traditionally it's like been a sort of cheaper cut of meat because it's perceived as tougher.
Yep.
And there's a lot of that like intramuscular fat.
Right, but that's actually the key to why brisket's so good. Slow cooked at least. So cooked over a very low and slow fire over hours, that very tough connectivity tissue that's in the brisket that people would always be like, it's too tough to I guess, just straight up slice and cook.
Yeah.
All that connectivity tissue and fat, it melts and soaks into the meat, and that's why, part of the reason why it gets that like really buttery consistency. And while you're doing that, you're also smoking it, the flavors of the wood slowly absorb into it, just making this perfect collision of butteriness, smokiness, delicious meat.
It really does feel like the perfect way to utilize a cut of meat like that.
Exactly.
They figured it out.
They figured it out. Pulled pork. This might be the first one we've had on this trip.
Little fork full of that.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Really good, too. Okay. Oh, but this one has more of like a vinegariness to it. I think they added some of the sauce to it.
Maybe. Yeah, definitely more of a tang.
Yeah, more of a tang. Want to try a little bit of sausage?
Absolutely, I do.
Yeah.
The amount of like juice and fat that's been left on this paper as well.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yes. Right. I noticed that the meat isn't as coarse. It's a finer grain, which is really nice.
Yeah, super smooth and
yeah.
homogeneous.
Yeah. But like aftertaste, like it's not that spicy, but it has a little.
Got a little
little
something.
yeah, a little something in there.
something.
Yeah, nice.
That's really flavorful. One of the more like the flavor of the pork really comes through on that as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Incredible. These ribs are calling my name here, buddy.
They really are.
You want to try
These
one?
ribs so much fun.
Grab one. I mean, look at. I mean, these are like, the color on this is unreal. So this is definitely a place where they're doing the classics to the highest standards.
Based on what we've tasted and seen so far. Just peel the rib. Yeah, that is a tender rib.
Oh, the tender rib. So Aaron, also, I think it was for like PBS or WTTW, did a series of barbecue videos. And one thing he said, at least in the brisket one, because I've watched it a bunch of times, is he says I don't know if this is attributed to him or where he got the phrase from, but he goes, "Looking ain't cooking." To say, like, I think that he's even like so scientific about it. Like, he doesn't want people even like opening the thing to check on it, because even letting that heat out will affect. So the tenderness of all this meat, just from a guy who understands how important that is, to the fact that he's like look as minimal as possible, because just opening to check on it is compromising that texture, that flavor, that smoke absorption, all that stuff.
It's like when you make Yorkshire pudding in the UK.
Cannot relate at all.
Relies on steam to rise. So if you open the oven to check on it, it actually like makes it sink and ends up with a way worse product. So you have to trust yourself. You will, right, I've made the batter right, temperature's good. I can leave it for 20 minutes. It's going to be beautiful.
I'm sure the James Beard award-winning chefs will hear that and be like, yeah, just like a Yorkshire pudding.
Exactly like a Yorkshire pudding, yeah.
Hey, it's going to rain soon and we're outside, so,
Yeah.
But I like that cool breeze.
Cool breeze.
Let's go ahead and
is
try
nice.
some of this. I was going to do the potato salad.
I'm taking some turkey. We can diverge.
I don't know.
Oh man,
That's very good.
best turkey we've had so far, hands down. Get a middle piece, super juicy. Oh
Wow.
man. Yeah,
Yeah, you're not kidding.
smoky. Got like a bark even on the turkey.
So delicious.
You want to try one of the barbecue sauces?
Oh, yeah, sure.
They have their own. I might make a little taco thing.
Oh, yeah.
Texas taco.
Yeah, this, a little
Grab yourself
bit
some brisket.
of the brisket. This might have been too much.
No such thing as too much brisket, man.
This, and then I'm going to go onions for mine.
Oh yeah. Remember
Try the original one.
McSorley's with the raw onions?
Yeah,
that really
that's right.
changed my life.
That did. It was, yeah.
I've been undervaluing raw onion
Yeah.
for so long.
All right, here we go.
Get a little bump of that.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, you've heard about it for years.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's honestly living up to the hype.
You get it.
I think from a kind of like textbook Texas barbecue perspective, this is kind of it, isn't it?
This is kind of it, yes. How you feel? You notice anything different between Austin barbecue versus Dallas?
I wouldn't say I've seen many drastic differences. The kind of most different thing I've seen is the difference between like this and Interstellar, to be honest.
Okay.
In terms of, that was a lot more like new school versus old school.
Yeah.
But broadly speaking, I think the traditional elements have been broadly the same. The brisket, like everywhere, honestly, has been really good. And yeah, like subtle differences in the ribs, the tenderness has changed slightly. The seasonings and the rubs and the sauces have changed slightly. But the fundamentals everywhere have been really great. And I'm having a great time so far.
We got one more place today. I want you to check out another Austin institution. Ready to head out?
I am.
You got room for one more?
I think so, yeah. We can do one more.
Let's do it.
It is a hot one today, huh?
It's really hot, and people have been lining up.
What's like the longest you've ever waited in line for something?
Oh, God. I'm sure, I mean, you know what? Here's why I think I don't like lines. Because when we would go to, like, amusement parks as a kid, and I sort of remember the roller coasters, but I distinctly remember standing in line in July, no shade, just surrounded by sweaty strangers.
Baking.
I think that's where my aversion of standing in line came from. All right, barbecue. You know, first president of the United States, George Washington, big barbecue head, being from Virginia. In 1793, when the cornerstone of the Capitol building was laid down, he celebrated by barbecuing a 500-pound ox.
God damn. That's a big old ox. How many people do you think you can feed with one of those?
I have no idea. He was serving the crowd and probably was going on for a while, but that's part of the reason why barbecue in America eventually became more of like this celebratory food.
So barbecue is literally in the foundations of the Capitol building. That's how American it is.
That's how American it is, yeah. Good point. We got one more place to go to today, and then we're hitting the final spot tomorrow. So
Sure.
pretty much restaurant-wise, we're halfway through. How you feeling?
Yeah, not too bad. I'm glad that we're getting another break because I think doing 2 more today might kill me.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh man, well, it's gonna rain, and I'm gonna sound like a dad. We need it.
Oh boy, do we need it.
Oh boy, do we need this rain. I'm sweating. I don't know if it's the heat or the meat, but it is hot, and I am woof. Last stop of the day, Terry Black's Barbecue, where brisket is king, according to the sign literally over your shoulder. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. The pattern of your shirt and the post behind you covered in stickers, it's kind of like they're both equally as distracting. So I feel like it's drawing focus back and forth. I don't know what to pay attention to. So
I'll put some like Subway Surfers clips up here just to like keep you focused.
The floating knife that's cutting the sand or whatever. Yeah, that'd be really great. One thing that I should point about Terry Black's and why I wanted to come here is when it comes to like Yelp and TripAdvisor, this one always is like towards the top of the list, if not the top.
Okay.
You know, this is like the people's champ.
Nice.
Also, the reason I'm here, because there's a little bit of a family drama. It's gonna spill some sweet tea, if I may.
Some Texas tea.
One of the oldest barbecue restaurants in the world, possibly, definitely United States, Black's Barbecue, is open and operating, right?
Got it.
Edgar Black starts it back in 1932-ish, right? Barbecue dynasty, this place is, okay? A few generations later, eventually we come across Mike and Mark Black, great-grandchildren of the original Edgar Black. They learned how to barbecue from Edgar Jr., their grandfather. At some point, they look around at what's happening, like 2014, they're like, you know, we're not down with how this restaurant or how it's going now. They said something to the extent of like, if our grandfather could see this, he would not be very happy with it. And they're like, you know what? We're splitting up and starting our own thing. So they try to do another Black's Barbecue, in which the family that was still running Black's Barbecue is like, nah, dog. So they eventually call it Terry Black's.
Okay.
And it is doing very well. They got spots in Lockhart, Waco, Dallas, and here in Austin, where we are.
There we go. Okay, I think I follow.
Yeah.
A lot of family drama, healing the emotional wounds with barbecue.
Yeah. One thing this place is known for are their beef ribs. Now, beef ribs are usually a Texas barbecue staple on Sundays. Terry Black's doing it every day. I am going to go order them.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Yeah!
Here we go, man. Last one.
Are you kidding me? This plate,
Look
dude.
at that. Beautiful.
Hang on, let me get this out of the way.
The size of the rib.
And what do you think of this plate?
This plate looks ridiculous. The
size
size
of
of this beef rib. We've had
Yeah.
beef short ribs before.
Sure.
Is this just a straight up beef rib? Nothing short about this beef rib.
Yeah, right? Isn't that fun?
Goodness me, man. That's enormous. It looks amazing. The colors on here, gorgeous. A couple of cornbread muffins?
Yeah, cornbread first time it's shown up since
Yeah.
we got out here.
More
I'm
like
surprised because cornbread I thought was like could be a staple of barbecue, but
Yeah.
I haven't seen them.
I guess more in Texas it's like a white bread situation rather than
Apparently.
cornbread. Not bad about it. Bit of variety at this point is
Yep,
very
yep.
welcome after several days of eating barbecue.
All right, where do you want to start?
I feel like we've been starting with the brisket for the most part. There is a slice of brisket lurking
Let's
under
get
here.
it. Finish it part right off.
Yeah, like you really
Comes
do not
right
need.
off.
You just don't need cutlery, do you?
Says brisket is king. I believe it. You know that actor Glenn Powell?
I do, yeah. Of Top Gun Maverick and Twisters fame.
He's a Texas guy. He has a dog. You know what he named his dog?
Food tours.
Close. Brisket.
Close enough.
Yeah. It's interesting that we've gone to so many places where they're like, yo, our brisket is the thing.
Yeah.
And everyone does it kind of differently, but as equally as delicious. I'm thinking with this one, I mean, pulling apart, really soft, juicy, the flavor of the bark, amazing. When they were cutting it and she's doing like a little squeeze, so the juice is just pouring out of it. So amazing.
It's another one that I would say is on the like firmer side as far as brisket goes.
Sure.
Which again, I personally kind of like. It tastes a bit more like you're eating a steak.
We got two types of ribs here, okay? We got the pork and we got the beef. Which one do you want to try first?
Maybe try pork.
Okay.
Go like beef pork.
Yeah. Every other one.
Alternate a little bit.
Yeah. Right, already, and it's feeling pretty.
Okay,
It's
okay.
feeling pretty loose.
Pretty tender.
Uh-huh. Incredible. Staying closer on the rib, closer to what you like.
A little bit, yeah. Didn't fall straight off the bone. Franklin like
Yeah,
dived
they
off the
just
bone.
fell
Like
off,
went flying, man.
Yeah. I do think the bark in that's particularly excellent. Right?
Yeah, very well seasoned. A lot of black pepper there. Don't know if there's too much else going on, but again, like, doesn't really need it
Yeah,
that
it's
much.
really nice. They definitely, I feel like with everyone being like, oh, we're doing black pepper and kosher salt, you would think like, oh man, like it's gonna be really salty. But actually, no, they're pretty generous with the coarse black pepper. And also complements the fact that you're eating such a rich, fatty, delicious cut of meat. The black pepper really grounds it, and it gives it that amazing flavor.
I think if you like see them seasoning it, it looks like they're putting a lot of salt on things, particularly when it comes to the brisket, like a heavy layer of salt going on.
Yeah.
But then if you actually think about it, brisket is a very thick, dense cut of meat.
Okay.
And a lot of what happens to that salt is that it actually gets absorbed and kind of goes all the way throughout the meat. It's not like you're just getting that layer of pure salt on top. It's easy to look at them seasoning and go, all I'm gonna be able to taste is salt, it's gonna burn my mouth. Not the case at all. It's a big piece of meat, it can take a lot of seasoning.
All right. Want to go to the big beef boy?
Looks pretty tender to me, look at that. Yeah.
Yeah, wow, look at this. Let's go.
Look how juicy that is, holy moly.
Oh my God. I could roll up here and just grab one of these to go. Work on this on the walk back. Oh, so delicious.
One hand on the steering wheel, one hand on a rib.
Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. Sausage.
Yeah, man. Thanks, sir.
Oh yeah. The cheddar and the jalapeno. Mmm. Really good sausage.
You got the cheddar, man. You got the cheddar. The guy said they're making the sausages in-house.
Yeah.
It's a pork beef blend. You get the jalapeno. A little bit of heat to it. A little bit of heat to it. I want to try and double cornbread, creamed corn.
Madman, Mad Brit over here.
Not worked at all. This is just falling apart. Oh no.
Messy made. How's corn on corn action?
It's corny. Good cornbread though.
Nice.
A little bit sweet, a little bit corny.
Yeah. Cream corn. It's underrated, you know? Would like to see it on the plate more.
Is it not common these days?
I mean, I feel like I don't see it that often.
A bit more like a grandma side.
Yeah, maybe there's like a cream corn resurgence happening. Remember a couple of years ago, suddenly Brussels sprouts were everywhere again because they're like roasting them, you know?
Yeah.
Like that, like with the sea salt or whatever. I was like, oh, Brussels sprouts.
I'm glad about that. We finally found a way to make them taste
Yeah,
good.
yeah, maybe cream corn's not making a comeback. This ain't your grandma's creamed corn.
New creamed corn.
Yeah. I'm curious if we can ever make our way to Black's barbecue and see what exactly they're doing here that Black's deemed that they weren't going to do. Wouldn't it be funny if it was the creamed corn? They were we're like,
No.
on the cob or nothing. Creamed, you're out of the family.
That was what caused the rift, which is they wanted to make creamed
No, it's
corn.
creamed. It's like you're gone. Didn't think about taking.
How dare you? Again, I feel like a pretty traditional place.
Yep.
They've got those Lockhart origins.
Yes.
They're staying pretty true to
I'm
that.
glad you mentioned that.
Yeah.
So we did a Lockhart place in our Dallas. Mm-hmm. How do you see the Lockhart influence on this plate versus other places we've gone to today?
I think I do, yeah, in terms of they're not trying anything too flashy.
Yeah.
It is very classic, like old school German Czech meat market style food. Comes on the paper, you get napkins. They do have sauce, but I feel like it doesn't really need sauce. You know?
I feel that especially both the ribs, and maybe it's just a coincidence, but they remind me a lot of how the ribs were done at Lockhart Smokehouse in Dallas.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if that's just a style choice or if that is reminiscent of the actual Lockhart barbecue.
Yeah, I think that might just be like that Lockhart tribute, you know?
Yeah.
Like Lockhart is where a lot of the barbecue history has come from.
Yeah.
And they want to preserve that.
Yeah. It's interesting to preserve a barbecue tradition from a different city. People in Austin were like, we're sick of everyone going to Lockhart. We're going to start our own thing. It's really popular. Like, it's so popular that a Lockhart place comes in and is like, yo, don't forget about us. Yeah, so Terry's is definitely holding it down.
Any highlights for you? What's jumping out?
Oh, the rib, the beef rib. The brisket, incredible. It is king, certainly here, but the beef rib, that's the thing. I'd be like, anyone who comes here has to get the beef rib. Without question. The brisket, also amazing. Love the sausage, love the sides, but that is maybe the best beef rib we've had on this trip because it's shown up more than once, right?
Yeah, a couple. I liked the Interstellar beef rib with the chimichurri, but I think in terms of just the meat,
I
this one
forgot
actually
about that one.
This one actually might be better.
Yeah.
If I could take the chimichurri from Interstellar,
Okay.
put it on this beef
That
rib,
is something.
would be cooking
That is
then.
something.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
God!
would be
Then
cooking
then you have to start your own place.
then. Yeah, I'm gonna start Stella Terry's. I'm serving this beef rib with the with the chimichurri.
You have to get sued by everyone.
Both are gonna sue me,
Get sued by all of them. So as you are aware, today is Friday.
Yes.
Jumping on a Friday. And I got one more place to take you, but it's not open today. It's only open on Saturday.
Okay, so go home, have a horrible meat nap, and then I'll see you in the morning.
Wake up bright and early and ready to eat even more meat.
Oh yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, man.
quarter to 8 a.m. in Texas. How you feeling, man? We're on our way to our next barbecue spot. You ready to do some eating?
I'm feeling okay, but like, why are we up so early? Because I'm not a morning person. We've established this.
Well, we have one more barbecue spot to hit at our Best in Austin episode. And for this one, we got to go a little bit outside of Austin to Lexington, Texas. We're going to Snow's Barbecue. What do you know about Snow's?
I've actually heard of Snow's before. Yeah, I've seen them on Netflix before, I think.
That's right. Chef's Table did a whole episode dedicated to Snow's, and with good reason. 2008 and 2017, Texas Monthly Magazine said this was the best barbecue in Texas. And in the middle there, I think in 2013, they came in second to Franklin's. The New Yorker, a publication Texans love, said that Snow's is the best barbecue in Texas.
Okay, it's a lot of high praise. It almost makes it worth getting up at 6 a.m. to go and eat it.
It's only open one day a week, today's Saturday. You gotta get in line just like everybody else. Same deal. When they open the doors, they've made a finite amount of briskets and ribs and all that stuff, and when it's gone, it is gone. It's definitely a tailgating spot. We, of course, did not bring any chairs.
No, we did not.
So not only are we getting up early, we're also standing. You excited for some standing?
Two of my favorite things,
All
waking
right.
up early and standing up. So yeah,
All right.
I can't wait.
We'll be there in about an hour, buddy. Get ready. Here we are, buddy. Snow's Barbecue, Lexington, Texas. This is like the barbecue spot in Texas. You saw the line was pretty long. People were waiting hours just to get a table here. We, of course, did not.
We've got a lot more spots to hit, so, you know, I'm very glad that they did that.
I stood in line just to get the experience. I waited about 10 minutes. I'm like, yeah, I got it. And then we walked on up in here. So they're fixing us up a plate of a lot of good stuff. Here's one thing I want to distinguish between Snow's here versus other places we've gone to. Yes, the brisket and the ribs are cooked in the offset style cooker, but a lot of the other meats are actually cooked over coals.
Okay, old school pit cooking.
Pitmaster
Yeah.
Tootsie, who's been doing this forever. That is a clearly departure from a lot of the other stuff we've had for this video, and the whole time we've been in Texas. Oh my God. This is unbelievable. Thank you so much, guys.
welcome.
This looks perfect. Thank you so very much. What do you think of the plate, my man? Snow's Barbecue.
I think it speaks volumes that it's like 9 a.m. and I'm super, super excited to
Yeah,
eat
this looks unbelievable.
This looks
Hook up with the
insane.
ribs, the sausage, the brisket, obviously chicken, another pork shoulder. You saw her in the, she was mopping.
Yeah.
She was doing the
mop
sauce
on the
mop.
pit.
So Tootsie, the pitmaster there, is not deviating at all from their technique. Been doing this the whole time, and I think it's worked out pretty well. So now mixing it up.
The awards speak for themselves.
Do you want to start with a little brisket here?
Absolutely, man. Let's do it. We have like a
I could just
little
like,
bit of the.
I'm going. I'm so hungry.
Cheers, man. It's like candy, meat candy.
We got here at a little after 8.
Yep.
Line was already wrapped around the building. We talked to some people that have been in line since 5 a.m. When we got here, they queued up for it. So, and I mean, Texas barbecue's changed my mind. There are some things worth waiting in line for.
Yep. One of the best, if not the best briskets that I've tried on this trip so far. Nothing crazy going on with the seasoning, but it's just that classic Central Texas salt, pepper, bark.
Yeah. What you can taste is the expertise. You can taste the care that's gone into making this unbelievable brisket.
Get a bit of purely just the fat.
Yeah.
Even just a mouthful of that fat still has so much beef and smoke flavor to it. That's ridiculous.
I'm gonna do next.
I'm gonna grab a rib.
Perfect consistency. Flavor falling apart as you go in on it.
Bone comes clean out.
These ribs are so tender, you don't need teeth.
No,
How are they doing this? This is unbelievable.
super, super good. It has like almost more of like a ham flavor to it. Like a really good like smoked ham.
Okay. It absolutely captured the essence of the meat with the slow roasting and the wood choice. This, perfect.
That's just gone. That's
Right?
finished.
Yeah. Wow.
I've got more to try. I want to try some of this pork. Cooked over direct heat.
Okay. Ooh, I got an M piece. This was recommended to me by someone coming out of the line.
Yeah?
A fan. Came here with his wife, said,
There you go.
try it.
See, with the direct heat, like you get that kind of crust on the outside, you know?
Oh my God. Oh my God. The direct heat, it gives it like this caramelized flavor over it. I don't think we've had it any other place.
No. I think with the amount of heat that is hitting it, like I say, the skin is crisping up a bit more. I was worried, like honestly looking at it, I thought, oh, maybe they've like dried that out a bit.
I don't know.
Then you bite into it and it's actually still super tender. I love pork. I grew up in a half Jewish household, so pork was always like a forbidden fruit for me.
Really?
Forbidden meat, yeah. Making up for lost time, big time here.
You came to the right cuisine. All right, first I'm gonna try the sausage. Wow. Has that snap we like?
Yeah, I think when you're getting a sausage like that and you're exposing it to more heat, the casing just goes so nice and snappy.
It seems like a distinction that I don't know why other places aren't making. That direct heat, in certain instances, especially for we're having here, is really elevated in a way that I don't think we've had on this trip so far.
Yeah, I think being able to do both methods
Yep.
is really impressive. Because it's a very different skill set for both. I mean, you got Miss Tootsie, you got Kerry out the back. They've been doing this for so long.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing. But they're taking those kind of like old school methods, which they've already perfected, and then also offering the new school stuff. Yeah.
Going in on the chicken, buddy.
First chicken that we've had, I think, on this trip. We've had some turkey, but I don't think we've had chicken before. Am I right?
I don't believe we have.
Might just go caveman on it. Skin. I love chicken skin so much.
Yeah, dude. Get a bite with skin. Don't go all skin. Like Hannibal Lecter over here.
I don't think I've ever had chicken like this before.
Well, why not? I mean, it's unbelievable, but
don't-
what haven't you had?
We just don't really smoke chicken in the UK.
Okay. Or like slow grill it or whatever?
Slow cook it, yeah. We roast chicken, sure,
Yeah.
but I've never really had a chicken that's been smoked like that, seasoned like that.
So you never had chicken with flavor?
I make a great roast chicken.
I wonder.
It's just very different to this.
Yeah? I should get some pointers up there.
All skin bite.
Okay. As watching this has been very unsettling.
Do you not like the chicken skin?
Oh, I think it's just fine. I just don't go all skin like a psychopath. Wasn't that, you see, you're too young to remember in the 80s when fried chicken was really taking off. Then they started being like, oh, the skin's what's bad for you. Like everyone has high blood pressure and high cholesterol because of the fried chicken skin. So now everyone would get like like Brown's chicken delivered, like peeling the skin off because it'd be healthier to take the skin off.
Peeling my KFC
skin was
for health
bad.
reasons.
Yeah, for health reasons, yeah. So ridiculous. That, on the other hand, is absolutely fantastic.
That's
I don't know if we've had any other chicken on this trip, but it is definitely the best chicken that we've had.
Yeah.
Best bird we've had.
Best bird in Texas.
But all this has been absolutely fantastic, man. And what they're doing back there, the direct over the coals heat, you can see why this stands out. And a lot of people consider this to be the best barbecue in Texas, and therefore the country.
Yeah. It is.
I
I can't get enough of this stuff.
Yeah. We're sitting in the temple, the dynasty of barbecue in Texas right now. We had quite the Austin barbecue tour, starting at Interstellar. Amazing food, amazing innovation, sides out of this world, but the meat, the classics, doing it unbelievably well.
Franklin's.
After that, I went to Franklin's, the classic Franklin's. The guys who brought back the Renaissance, at least in Austin. After that, Terry Black's.
Terry Black's.
Love a good family feud. Love a good family feud,
drama,
right?
yeah. Nothing brings people together or tears people apart like barbecue. Barbecue, the cause of and
Yeah.
solution to all
The
of life's
better your
problems.
family is at barbecue, the more it either is close or further apart. It's a family drama multiplier.
It's like a horseshoe. You'll either get really close or really far apart.
Oh, also the food was really good.
And the food was great. Love that beef rib.
Fantastic. Oh my God.
Beef
that
rib every day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And here we are at Snooze.
Where it snows.
I mean,
I'm so glad we got to come here. Feel very privileged to have visited and tried the food. After 2 days of eating incredible Austin barbecue,
Yeah.
one question remains.
yeah.
Have you come around on my chicken shirt yet?
No, if anything,
okay,
my
fine.
hatred for it has grown. I don't want to see it again. I have a feeling you'll wear it at least once more. It is what it is.
Well, now I
yeah,
have to.
so one thing remains, this shirt ridiculous.
Beyond that, which to me was the main question, I guess we also have to decide which of these places we like the most.
Okay.
Which we might recommend to people visiting the Austin area.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a favorite, Joe?
I do. Every place is fantastic. Every place is absolutely amazing. I would wait in line for hours for any of this barbecue.
Yeah.
Any of the places were great. But for me, the one that edged all of them out just by like the thinnest of margins, but that's very important because it is a cuisine that's based on the details. I think my number one is going to be Interstellar.
Okay.
I thought they did the meat perfectly, traditionally, as far as like making a great biscuit, making a great rib. It was the inventiveness of the sides. They somehow over there are merging the classic, the traditional, which a lot of people have very strong opinions about, and I would say traditionally, they got some of the best briskets or the best ribs I've ever had. And then also innovation-wise with the sides, they brought that in. It isn't a mix, it isn't weird, it isn't two things. They're blending the old and the new so seamlessly. I was excited about everything we had.
Yeah.
I mean, if I lived here, I would be going there all the time just to see what they're doing. Other places did traditional really well, but that was my favorite. How about you?
It's really hard. I did think Interstellar was fantastic. Coming into this morning, Interstellar was clear number one for me.
Yeah. But
But I
since you're
think
the one,
as a tourist visiting Austin for the first time, wanting to try Texas barbecue, I think this is the one.
wow, yeah. Okay. All right.
It's really fine margins because I feel like the brisket everywhere has been really good. No one's doing too much different stuff with the brisket.
Yeah.
Similar with the ribs. I think it's the other things that really set a place apart. And I think the snap of the sausage from that direct heat,
It's pretty killer.
that juicy direct heat pork.
That'll wake you up.
I've never had anything like this chicken before.
I will say, even though they did everything great here, like the pork, the chicken, and the sausage are also the reason to come here.
Yeah.
It's all the reason to come here. I thought it was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just me and waiting in lines.
Yeah,
Just, I don't know.
you're gonna wait in line. I think if you're on vacation, you're gonna
Yeah.
make a day of it. You're gonna make an event of it.
Yeah. It's very hot. We're sitting by these smokers, but we have more barbecue to eat, ready to go to the next city.
Yeah, I think I can do one more barbecue city
Oh, God.
before my heart caves in.
Ah, let's go. All right, that's a wrap on the Austin episode of the marathon. Now we're on our way to Houston. 4 more spots. How you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to have a day to breathe between them, but we're not in Texas for very long, so we kind of got to make the most of it. Literally wrapping at Snows, getting straight in the car, driving to Houston, and I think we got one spot to hit today, right?
That's right. We're going before we even get to the Airbnb.
Okay, strap in.
Let's do it. Welcome to Houston, my man. Our third stop in the best barbecue in Texas marathon.
Oh yeah.
We're going to 4 incredible barbecue restaurants, all here in the great city of Houston.
I'm excited. I've heard good things about Houston barbecue.
And you've heard good things about Houston from Beyonce, Travis Scott, Bun B, UGK, Ghetto Boys.
I definitely knew who some of those people were.
Unbelievable. What is millennials? I don't know anything about anything. All right. Well, we're not here to listen to fantastic hip hop. We are here to eat fantastic barbecue, and we're starting at Truth Barbecue. You wanted the truth, and you got it. We're gonna get a baseline of what the city has to offer. So everywhere we go, we're getting brisket. Everywhere we go, we're getting ribs. Everywhere we go, we're getting the sausage. And every place we're gonna go, also getting something special on that menu. Houston episode starts right now. You ready to eat?
Somehow, yeah, I still want more barbecue. Let's go.
Look at our plates.
Alrighty, guys.
Yes.
So here we have what is known as our whole shebang. It's basically a sampler of what we do best.
That looks phenomenal. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much. Check it out. What do you think of this plate?
Houston, we have a problem.
What problem is that?
That I'm going to eat myself to an early grave.
All right.
This looks really good.
As beautiful as the meat looks, when he mentioned these Brussels sprouts with the beef tallow, ooh, sounds very nice.
We both had a similar reaction to that, both very
Yeah.
excited. I know it's weird to focus on sprouts on a barbecue plate, but we've eaten a lot of meat this week.
Pulled pork. We haven't seen a lot of pulled pork on this journey, right?
No, not really. Most of the pork we've eaten has been in like sausage or rib form.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the steaks at Snows, of course.
Of course.
Do you like pulled pork?
Love it.
Yeah, into it?
Usually, though, I do pulled pork in sandwich mode.
Well,
Yeah, I know.
well, we do have some bread
I
and
don't
some
want to hog
sauce.
the bread. Yeah, everything on this plate looks absolutely incredible.
It really
Now, I do
does.
want to remind you, before we continue, Truth Barbecue in 2021, according to Texas Monthly Magazine, this is the number 3 best barbecue in the entire state of Texas.
Okay.
So we are about to eat something that is nothing short of phenomenal. I don't know, where do you want to begin here?
I feel like the brisket's a good place to start. You have to
Yeah.
kind of like unearth it on this
have
plate.
to-
He called this the whole shebang because they give you a little bit of everything. So we get the
All right,
ribs
there's
buried under here. I
turkey.
think we have turkey
Right
and
there.
brisket.
Yeah, okay,
There's
there's
your
a- there's
brisket.
a-
There we go.
Here
Yep,
we
get
go.
some of that bark, man.
do it.
Cheers.
Wow. Second in my mouth. I totally get it.
Flavor explosion right
Whoa.
there. It's rich,
Yeah.
juicy.
Dare I say decadent. Not too salty. You know, balanced perfectly. Salt, pepper, garlic, and onion. That's what makes up that bark. They use mustard as a binder, and the way that the vinegar, the tanginess of the mustard pairs with the richness, the fattiness of the meat. Perfection.
I actually like, when I bit into that one, I kind of got flashbacks to our pastrami episode in New
Okay.
York.
Really?
Yeah, like I think with a lot of the kind of like spicy mustard that you get on those like pastrami and rice sandwiches, not exactly the same. The flavor profiles are different and the texture of the meat is different.
Sure.
But I kind of like, it just evokes those memories, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. That brisket is kind of a big deal. Here at Truth, they sell 500 of those a week.
Damn, okay.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of brisket.
Yeah.
A lot of cows
Yeah.
sacrificing themselves
Yeah.
to make this possible.
And thank you for your service, cows. I only want the ribs.
I think so, yeah, that's really good.
I'm gonna grab
That was a
one.
great place to start. Moving on.
Oh yeah, I got like the side.
Pork rib. Oh man, it's like already like falling off the bone.
Yeah, perfect, perfectly cooked. Mmm, a bit right through it. Wow,
Man.
bark has got a nice crunch and holds it all together.
A little bit of sauce on there as well.
Yep.
A bit of like tomatoey, vinegary goodness.
And they got sauce on the table, and I, for one, do not think it needs to be added whatsoever.
So far, I've not needed any sauce.
Yeah.
Literally falling off the bone. I feel like when you're serving this many people, like what, 500 biscuits a week,
Yeah.
making that consistent is so hard. Because every brisket is like a little different as well, right?
Yeah, right.
They're not all the same size, shape, fat content.
Yeah.
So to try and pluck order out of all the chaos and produce this product day in, day out is really impressive.
Absolutely fantastic. Speaking of fantastic, look at the sausage right here. Look at this.
Not skimping on the cheese.
Yeah,
are
they're
they,
just the cheese and the jalapeno. I'm like seeing chunks of jalapeno, and I don't know if I'm. It's like really hot. I don't know if I'm ready for spiciness. How are you feeling?
It's very, very warm, especially for a bread. Oh yeah, the jalapeno.
Yeah. Wow, it's so cheesy. That might be the cheesiest sausage we had this entire trip. The whole time been here. They're winning the cheese game.
It really works as well.
There's not a lot of cheese in general on barbecue.
No, I feel like very rarely I've seen little bits of cheesy sausage available in the UK, but cheddar jalapeno seems like the combo out here. Is that like a Texas thing?
Yeah, I think so. That brisket is cooked over post oak wood. I feel like I'm starting to taste the differences between the woods. I used to think like, just use whatever wood, but I definitely can get that post oakiness in the brisket, which I'm really starting to like.
Yeah, that smoke flavor adds so much. I think, again, when you're not seasoning it with that many things, it really means that the things that you are seasoning it with shine through a lot more.
They eventually spritz it with apple cider vinegar before wrapping it. We've been to some places that are like anti-wrapping and even like no spritzing or anything like that, but they're doing it, and I have to say, that is a fantastic brisket.
It really is.
Obviously, when it comes to meat, they know what they're doing, but I hear the sides here are off the hook.
Yes.
I want to do
Brussels sprouts.
the Brussels sprouts first.
In the beef tallow.
Yeah.
With some peppers as well.
Yeah.
Do you like Brussels sprouts? I
Love 'em.
Brussels sprouts. They get a bad rep in the UK because most people just boil them.
Yeah, no, they got a bad rep in America too. Then suddenly, like 10 years ago, they're back.
Yeah.
They're reinvented.
Well, people figured out that you can do things like fry them, or roast them, or saute them, and
Or
hey,
add salt to them.
season them.
Yeah, season them. Yeah, okay.
Oh, wow.
Those are amazing. Those are amazing. And I haven't had my vegetables in like 3 days, so.
Yeah, it might just be that both of us are like crying out for nutrients.
Oh, it's working. Wow, these are fantastic.
These are beautiful.
These
though.
are some of the best Brussels sprouts I've ever had. No
There's
question.
sweetness in there, but like a sweet heat with the chili.
Yes.
Might be the best sprouts I've ever had.
I'm gonna hit a few more sides here. Tater tot casserole.
Tater tot
Love
casserole.
that.
Tater tots being those like small balls
Yeah.
of fried potato, right?
Are you being serious right now?
I don't think.
What do you not know what a tater tot is?
They're not a thing in the UK.
Yes, they are.
They're really not.
You probably call them something else. Little potato guys, deep fried,
Yeah, I've seen them before, but like
but you've never had them in the UK.
they're not common in the UK whatsoever.
That's not. No, it can't be true. That's like
is
the
true.
most regular thing to have. A tater tot casserole, like a potato casserole. No, what they did was you have the tater tots with the crispy outside, right?
Yep.
And then they kind of like blended them up after they were cooked, so there's like crispy potato throughout it, which is
Yeah.
smart instead of just using like shredded potatoes as a lot of crispy.
You could just have mashed potato, but then like you wouldn't get these little crispy
No.
bits.
They're very wise to do tater tots. This is very good.
That's really good. Cheesy as well.
And this is really great.
It's right up there.
This is really fantastic.
A couple more tiny bits of meat.
I don't know if I can keep going.
You can't tap out at place one immediately, Joe. Come on. You got this, man. Pulled pork. That's a juicy pulled pork.
Fantastic.
Uh-huh.
Yes. And this turkey.
Turkey's basically a vegetable, right? Out in Texas, turkey is effectively a vegetable.
I'm actually loving everything on this plate. Everything is like, I know what this is, but you taste it, you're like, wait a second. They have elevated everything on this plate, but it also works together, which I love. I love when the sides and the meats all go together, so you just don't feel like you're getting a side just to get one or whatever, you know? Leonard, who runs the place, is one of a few barbecue chefs to have appeared on the show Chopped and have won.
Okay.
Very impressive.
We don't have Chopped in the UK. How does that work?
It's a competition cooking show.
Gotcha. Okay. And he won.
And he won an episode, yes.
I can see why with barbecue like this. I wonder if he cooked barbecue or if he was cooking something else. Either way, I'm sure he did great.
I don't know, I'm not familiar with the show, but I'm pretty sure when they're like, okay, make your dish, you have 12 hours. It's much like to stay here and demolish this plate. We actually can.
Oh.
I got some great news. This is the last place we're going to today. I got a bunch of other spots, but we're going tomorrow, so we got nothing left to do, so let's eat this entire plate, get nice and sweaty, hit the Airbnb, and wake up bright and early tomorrow, hungover on meat, for more barbecue in Houston. You ready, buddy?
Yeah, there's nothing I like doing more than getting hot and sweaty and meaty with you, Joe.
All right, now start eating and looking me in the eye. Let's go.
Unblinking eye contact.
Okay.
That's a great unhinged.
Day 2 barbecue, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Feel refreshed, ready to eat barbecue.
I am refreshed and I'm ready to eat 3 fantastic barbecue spots, and that's where we're going today. In my opinion, it's never too early to eat barbecue. Case in point, we are on our way to the pit room, and I'm taking you there specifically for the barbecue breakfast tacos. Oh my God, I can't wait. All right, here we are, the pit room. Houston, Texas, MMA fighter Derek Lewis's favorite barbecue.
Okay. Are you an MMA guy?
No,
No, me neither.
but I saw the clip.
I mean, I imagine they need to eat a lot of protein, so I kind of trust the opinion of someone who does MMA fighting on barbecue.
Got some pretty good shape, so it looks like knows what he's talking about. Also, the Houston Press said they have the best homemade sausage. Come on, what else do you want?
Come on.
And we're here a little early. I want to make sure you get the breakfast tacos. Listen to me. With these breakfast tacos, they make the flour tortillas in-house, and what sets them apart is they trim the fat off the brisket and grind it up, render it down into the smoker, put it into the process of making the tortillas. My point is this. The tortillas here are no joke. The breakfast tacos here are no joke. Our boy Fietti even came out here to check it out.
So you're telling me they're putting smoked brisket fat in the tortillas?
Yes.
I mean, come on. That's going to be delicious.
What is the breakfast taco situation in London?
Pretty non-existent.
That sucks.
Yeah. Tortillas on the whole, not that big a deal.
Is a Tex-Mex fusion. We're in the Tex part of Tex-Mex, so makes sense why that would be.
Yeah, we're close to the border, I think, in Houston, right?
The closest we've been so far, yeah.
There you go. So I imagine the Tex-Mex food down here, pretty good.
I'm seeing stuff like house-made chicharrones with their own hot sauce. Kaboom!
So what are we going to order?
For the tacos, I want to get the brisket and egg and the jalapeno cheddar sausage and egg. And then, of course, we're going to be getting the brisket, the ribs, the sausage here for the barbecue.
Okay. Go order, man. I'm starving.
BRB.
Here we go.
Ba-bam,
Good morning,
buddy.
USA.
They didn't have regular English tea, so they got you Houston sweet tea, which
Okay.
I think is pretty similar.
Close enough?
Yeah.
Close enough.
And I got an appropriate sized coffee.
A large coffee.
No, this was the
A
coffee.
small coffee.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Houston knows the right sizes of things. They hooked us up with a little bit of everything. Starting down here, we got the brisket taco. Then we got the bacon taco. Over here, we got the cheddar jalapeno sausage taco, pulled pork taco, hash brown taco, and down here looks to be diced ham. Are you ready to lose your mind? Hook this up with a bunch of salsas as well. Absolutely fantastic.
This looks ridiculous. Smells ridiculous.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to try these. So try the tea as well. So this is basically just a English breakfast tea, right?
Yeah, but Houston style. I hold up there, pal.
Yeah, they're not kidding when they say sweet tea. Not skimping on the sugar there.
Is tea ever that sweet in the UK?
No, not at all. If you're putting that much sugar in your black or English breakfast tea,
Uh-huh.
I am concerned for your health. Not skimping on the meat filling, I
No,
think it's fair
definitely
to
not.
say.
And this brisket looks absolutely incredible. We got shredded cheese and egg, of course, in there, thus making it a breakfast taco.
So what makes something a breakfast taco? Is it pretty much just the presence of scrambled egg and cheese? And
I
then
think so, yeah.
Beyond that, whatever you want to add.
Yeah. And also eating them around breakfast time.
Of course.
I mean, nobody's going to be like a regular taco for breakfast. What are you doing? It's pretty conclusive that it's just tacos for breakfast. But there probably should be some egg in there.
Probably. Okay, man.
This is the brisket one. Looks absolutely incredible. I think we should take a bite before we continue.
I agree. Let's do it.
Oh my God.
Oh, man.
This is ridiculous how good this is, right? And those tortillas, ooh.
Yeah, man. The flavor and the texture of that tortilla. Making these in-house. They do have like a little bit of like smokiness to
Yeah,
them, right?
a little flavor to it, right?
Yeah.
This is a jalapeno sausage and cheese one. Mm-hmm. I mean, I gotta
Again,
try it.
Best homemade sausage in Houston.
Wow, that sausage. Oh my God.
Get
That
a
might
little-
be, that might be the one. That
get
might be the one for me.
Get that jalapeno heat.
Wow. They gave us sauces. I don't think it really needs it. What do you think?
I'm gonna try a little bit with the salsa.
Yeah. House made?
I believe so.
I guess I gotta try a little bit with the salsa.
Oh, good. Wow.
This is absolutely incredible. I can't speak for all breakfast tacos that I've had, but I don't think I've had one with so much care and dedication put into the taco, all the way down to tortillas. I mean, the eggs are cooked perfectly too. The cheese and the sausage. This sausage is, oh my God. For me, this is the best breakfast tacos I've ever had, without question.
Wow, high praise. I haven't had many breakfast tacos, but I think I'd agree with you. I'm pretty sure I looked at the menu and the price wasn't even expensive. It's like maybe like $5 or $6 one of these.
It's a price
and
to
that's
move.
hefty.
Yeah.
If you were selling these for that price in London, you would have lines around several blocks for this.
But it is not a breakfast taco show. As much as I wish it would be, and if we are going to shoot a breakfast taco episode, we definitely got to come back here.
Yep.
Just to hand them their crown and then leave. I wouldn't even be like,
Shortest episode ever.
here we
Today
are,
we're at the pit
here's
room.
your trophy,
They
we
win.
eat here, bye. We also have a tray of unbelievably delicious barbecue. Now I want to tell you something. When I tell you, I'm telling the audience.
Go for it.
They have the breakfast menu, take a 30-minute break, then a lunch menu. They were kind enough to cook us both before the official lunch service begins. So Harry, when you come back here, without the cameras, don't be all like, hey, remember that show you gave me the tacos and the lunch at the same time? I would like the same service. They're not going to do that. This is food royalty service only.
Sure.
All right?
Are we food royalty at this point?
We are.
I feel like I'm more like a duke or something
A
at this
lord.
point. Yeah. Not quite on like king level.
But our land holdings are enough to where we're treated like royalty when we leave the kingdom. So we were lucky enough, or they were kind enough to give us lunch barbecue during the breakfast hours. But they, of course, have brisket, the sausage, chicharrones, also house-made. Potato chips right here, jalapeno vinegar, and ribs, and 2 sauces. I am just so elated with how amazing this looks. 2 chicharrones, come on.
I love chicharrones. I adore crisps or chips. On your side of the pond.
Oh my God, there is a crispness to this brisket, that the bark on this. That is just quality barbecue right there. Yep. Bark's a little crispier than we've had in other places, which is welcomed by me. I mean, we've been talking about textures a lot, but I think the juxtaposition of the incredibly creamy, smooth brisket with the crunchiness of the bark, fantastic.
Yeah, that brisket is so delicious.
They're letting the meat sing on that one. They're doing a pickle, juice, and mustard binder for their brisket.
Okay.
All right?
Nice. Yeah.
I don't taste that, and I don't think mustard or pickles. What I can gather is at least the vinegar from the pickle juice is really offsetting the richness of the fat within the meat. And you're getting that in the bark, so you're getting both a little bit of like the unctuousness of the meat with the crispiness of the skin. Together, absolutely fantastic.
I think, when you have a meat that's this rich, any kind of acid you can add to that is going to really, really help the eventual bite and flavor profile.
Yeah.
Salt, fat, acid, heat. You seen that?
I've heard of it.
Shout out Samin Nosrat, she's great.
All right.
But she says that salt, fat, acid, and heat are the 4 main components that you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a well-rounded mouthful, it's great.
Yeah. All right, I want to try the jalapeno cheddar sausage. Let's go. Again, in taco, out of taco, still amazing.
Phenomenal. Really good sausage. One thing I've actually been a little bit surprised by on this trip so far is like, I was expecting it even to taste more smoke sometimes from the meats. I think with the brisket it comes through a little bit, but not too much. That's one of the smokiest things I've had on this whole trip, which personally I really like.
Yeah. No cheddar jalapeno sausage over there in the UK? No sausage jalapeno bangers?
You can probably track them down if you look hard enough, but not common. We generally stick to pretty standard sausage fillings, I would say, in the UK. You're going to have your Cumberland sausages, your Lincolnshire sausages. If I were rich enough to have like a wood-burning stove in my house, then maybe I could just start smoking sausages in there overnight as well.
And your whole flat smells like smoked meat.
Smoke and grease.
Oh, that'd be kind of nice actually.
They should do scented candles like jalapeno cheddar sausage.
Rib. There you go.
Thank you, sir.
Oh yes,
That's a
sir.
long rib.
It's a long boy, as they call them.
It's like dripping with that juice as well. Could joust with these things.
The rub on this, wow, cooked to perfection. Got a nice snap to the meat on there. Not falling off the bone, doesn't have to be.
It's like crispy bark again, like you're saying with the brisket.
Yeah.
They get a real nice like crisp on the outside here.
Which I like to see. With smoking and offset cooking, it'd be harder to get anything crispy, but they're getting it across the board, and I love it because when it's crispier, it really locks in the flavor.
Oh, yeah.
So we get that with the tenderness of the meat. The meat is still ridiculously tender. Put those two things together, I'm like loving that clash.
There's just something so primal about gnawing meat off the bone, isn't there?
I know, feels really good.
Like a caveman again.
Yeah, that's right. So the first chicharron to appear on our plates and the house-made hot sauce.
So is this another kind of like nod to the Tex-Mex?
I believe so, yes.
Also, we have pork scratchings in the UK, which are like our version.
Yeah.
I love them. I
Pork
know it's
rinds,
like
pork scratchings, chicharrones, yeah.
one of the least healthy things possible, but they're so good.
No, you're not eating. Health is not a concern if you're eating if you're doing a barbecue show.
Oh yeah. There's something so satisfying about the texture of pork rinds, pork scratchings, chicharron.
Whatever you want to call them, they are phenomenal. And gotta say to you and anyone watching, do not sleep on their hot sauce.
Yeah, I love what they're doing here. Attention to detail is evident across the menu. The seasoning in the bark is fantastic. The smoke has really come through here compared to some other places. And also I just think like including stuff like this on the menu, A, it's delicious, but also you get like texture contrast, which is something that I've actually been missing a bit with some of these barbecue places we've had on the trip. Because when you're getting these like tender smoked meats, it's a lot of the same.
Yeah.
Whereas then having a bit of crunch to kind of like break that up.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Wow. And I love the Tex-Mex infusion to the barbecue. Putting all that on one plate is a huge plus for me.
Yeah, this has been excellent.
All right, so stop because I know you want to keep eating, and I would like to as well. We got 2 more places, 2 more Houston barbecue institutions for me to take you to. Ready for our next tray?
I am indeed. I've saved some room. Let's hit it.
I'll set it. That was delicious. Now we're on our way to Pinkerton's Barbecue, not to be confused with the Blue Album. Are you excited?
Or the detective agency in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, they used to be like a private security firm called
Okay.
Pinkertons, and they are hunting you down in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Well, it's none of those things. This is barbecue by my man, Grant Pinkerton. And he's cooking his briskets, post oak, and mesquite. And you're probably wondering, 18 hours, isn't that overnight? What does the guy live there? I think he does.
Oh.
He did. We'll find out when we get to his location. If he still lives there, I'm not quite sure. But for a while there, yeah, he lived at the restaurant because he was keeping an eye on the meat 24/7. I mean, that is dedication to the game.
That's dedication.
Correct me if I'm wrong, this is the first place you're going to where the pitmaster lives on the premises.
I think you might be right, yeah. You're literally like going around to his house for dinner. It's great.
That's right, so take off your shoes when we get there.
Oh, well.
All right, Pinkerton's, buddy, what do you think? Pretty nice setup they got out here, right?
It's a really cool setup. It does feel like someone's house.
Yeah, it's pretty
which-
cool, right? Considered one of the best barbecue spots in the city of Houston. That's what we're doing here today. Of course, we're getting the brisket. We're getting a glazed rib, also sausage, a jambalaya, a few other fun things that they're known for. I'm still hungry, so I could definitely go for another round of barbecue. How are you feeling?
I'm not doing too bad. We're sat outside again, which is slightly less than ideal because it's pretty warm today,
Yeah.
but we're making do.
Come on, you're not getting used to this heat, this Texas sweltering heat.
I actually think it might slowly be getting used to it. Yeah, I
You just
don't
get
know.
used to also have your own glaze on you while wandering around.
Yeah, I'm feeling like a rib right now.
Well, I know what really cool us off is a huge plate of smoked meat. So you want me to go get us something?
Absolutely.
All
Let's do
right,
it.
here we go. All right, buddy, what do you think?
This looks ridiculous.
It's a real good looking plate. I gotta say, the sides look
Yeah.
amazing. Hell yeah, dude.
Little kind of colourful accent to the
Nice.
plate, thanks
Yeah,
to these
Whole
sides.
rainbow of colors we got going on over here.
The size
love
of
it.
this beef rib,
Yeah.
biggest beef rib we've had by a
Yeah, we
mile.
keep saying that, but this is absolutely the biggest beef rib we've got.
Yeah.
How awesome is that? It looks so amazing.
Yeah, look at the fat back there that's just like almost liquefied.
Love it, love it, love it.
2 types of brisket.
Yeah.
We've got the fatty and the lean brisket
But
on
it's
here.
underneath this beef rib.
Buried
I wanna do
underneath
this.
the beef rib.
So you can. Oh no 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 no! I'm gonna put that right here.
I mean, literally fall off the bone tender beef rib, as we've just discovered. It's fine. Draw your attention, Joe, to the fatty versus the lean brisket.
Yes, please.
They're both like still kind of fork tender, which is great.
Do a side by side taste. We'll see if you can.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh huh. All right. What are you tasting? How's it feeling? What's going on in your mind right now?
It's beefy,
Yeah. Okay.
it's smoky,
Nice.
it's salty,
Yo.
and definitely has a really soft,
Yeah.
buttery texture.
Rich, right? Mm-hmm. Very nice. I got something lean, something for the people keeping an eye on, I guess, their fat content. I don't know why you'd want lean, but okay.
If you're eating barbecue, I don't think you're that concerned about your
Yeah,
fat intake.
This is for if you got a marathon later today.
Flavor profile is very similar, but definitely has more bite to it, more of a
Yep.
chew. I actually might like kind of prefer the lean stuff, you know.
Why is that?
I think I just like having a little bit more bite to it, a little bit more chew.
Yeah.
They're both delicious. Flavor profile is very similar. It's just a textural thing, which I think is personal preference.
Here's all I'll say. The leaner cut, I'd be more inclined for that if I was more of a sauce guy.
Yeah.
Flavor's still there. I feel like I probably want to sauce that. My personal preference, I'm gonna go with the regular cut, the fatty cut. That was just
Interesting.
amazing, amazing. Maybe some of the best brisket we've had in
Yeah.
Houston. Wow, that's incredible. Unfortunately, this fell off the bone.
It did.
Sorry.
That tender.
Sorry for the, yeah, so that's a compliment to it. Sorry for the optics, but I'm gonna get on this beef rib right here. So once again, big beef rib. It is Sunday we're shooting this, so I don't know if this is an everyday thing or a Sunday thing.
Oh yeah. Don't need a knife. I just put my fork in, twisted, bang. That's smoky.
That's incredible. Oh my God. If I had to choose one, I would go the beef rib over the brisket personally.
You would? Really?
That is amazing.
Wow.
That is absolutely amazing.
I think brisket now in Texas seems to be extremely commonplace, and a lot of people are doing it very well.
Yeah.
Whereas like beef rib feels like a bit more of an event, you know?
Sure. Okay.
A lot of places are still only doing it like on the weekend or on a Sunday.
Maybe the best beef rib we've had on this trip. Totally.
Wow.
Entirely.
High praise.
Ooh, a little jalapeno sausage.
Look at the cheese as well, like oozing out of that.
Yeah, it's really great.
Like casing's got a good texture to it.
It's got a nice nice snap to it.
Bit of snap, bit of chew.
But the jalapeno, like, spicy enough that you know it's there, but not too overpowering. It has the perfect jalapeno flavor to pair with the cheese. And the sausage itself, wow.
Yeah.
That's so good.
It's a really good sausage, man.
Yeah.
Need some of this potato salad to cool me down.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I'm gonna try this jambalaya, because they're known for the jambalaya.
You did say that Houston's like the Bayou City.
Yep.
Jambalaya strikes me as more of like a sort of Louisiana soul food dish.
That big?
Paying tribute there.
Yep. It's got bits of duck in it.
Do you want to grab a rib? The one
Yeah,
thing,
yeah, get in there.
Not tried the pork ribs
Oh,
yet.
yeah, the glazed ones.
Look at the color on those.
The glaze on this is exceptional. The glaze on this is absolutely exceptional. That glaze is amazing. That is a glaze, buddy.
In general, would you say you're like a dry rub or a glazed guy when it comes to your ribs?
I think I'm more of a glaze guy.
I think
I think I'm more of a glaze guy, but I think it might be just growing up. That's how the ribs you always get were. You know, like places that don't slow cook them. Just any sort of like restaurant that does barbecue and just totally like torching them in the oven just to get them out really fast. Are always glazed with something. Yeah, I like that there's a sweetness with the flavor of the pork. I mean, pork and sweet always work so well together, and this is no exception. This is so delicious. There's a very like communal feel to this place, both inside and out here with this like area back here. Like I feel like you're eating in the neighborhood. Like it feels like this is the neighborhood spot.
Again, like he literally lived here for a while, but it does feel like a family environment. Again, it's like we're like going to Grant's house for dinner, you know?
Yeah.
It was great. Very welcoming. I'm gonna pick at some more sides.
Very impressive sides.
It might just be because we're kind of at the end of our barbecue tour, but I'm really grateful that the mac isn't like overly creamy. As far as mac and cheese goes, fairly delicate.
Yeah, this is an incredible plate of barbecue. This really is an exceptional plate of barbecue. They did everything. Top quality, A game.
Yeah, a few standouts for me. Quality and range for the sides.
Okay.
Loving those.
Yes.
That beef rib. The
Maybe
bark on that.
Yeah, maybe the best we've had.
Phenomenal.
In all of Texas, yeah.
And also the sausage, actually.
Yeah, sausage.
We've had a lot of good sausage on this trip. It's very different to a British sausage, but they're all bringing a little something to the table.
Yeah, man, we got sausages figured out down here in Texas.
You do.
Yeah. Grant Pinkerton of Pinkerton fame started barbecuing when he was 12 years old. Has no formal training, just got really into it, and sometime after college he decided that he would just go all in and barbecue, and after a few successful years he was able to get his own place, this place right here. And I think that he certainly has got the skills.
I respect that, you know, it's like very American dream, just
Yeah.
like having a passion, working at it from a young age, working your way up to the top and getting all the acclaim that he now deserves.
Could you not do that in the UK?
We still have that and it's still like cool, but I just feel like it's more baked into the American culture now.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, what happens when you do that in London?
It's just like, oh cool, good for you.
Oh, God.
Thumbs up.
Cheers, mate. Brilliant.
I'm trying to drink my pint here, mate.
I got one more barbecue spot here in Houston to take you, and we got to get going, buddy. So let's wrap this up and hit it.
Let's do it.
The last place of our entire Texas barbecue marathon trip. How you holding up?
I'm not bad. I'm ready to go out with a bang, both in terms of good quality barbecue and also my stomach exploding.
Oh, fantastic. Well, we got room for one more, and we're going to Feegis Barbecue.
Just barbecue.
Feegis Barbecue is by my man Patrick Feegis and his partner Aaron Smith. Aaron has a background in fine dining, so the vibe of this is going to be more of a sit-down restaurant than it is other places we've gone to.
Okay. I do have one request for you, Joe.
What do you got?
Can we speed up a little? Because England are playing in the Euro final in about 1 hour's time.
Oh,
I'm repping the team colours today. Don't know if you picked up on that, probably not.
No.
But I would very much like to catch at least some of the game.
Fine. All right, we're here. Feege's Barbecue, Houston, Texas. The last spot of our extensive Texas barbecue tour here in Houston. How you feeling?
Not too bad. We've been eating barbecue pretty much solidly for a week, and I'm ready to end it on a high note. This place is cool.
Yeah, I really like this place.
Tell me more about the spot, why we're here.
Okay, Feege's Barbecue, started by Patrick Feeges and his partner, Aaron Smith. Aaron has a background in the restaurant industry, and she even appeared on and won an episode of Chopped in 2016. An episode or the season, I don't know much, I don't know how the show works. But she was in it and she won, so she clearly does barbecue.
Second Houston barbecue chef to have appeared on and won an episode of Chopped.
Yeah, you're paying attention, very good.
I already am.
Was named one of the best new barbecue joints by Texas Monthly Magazine. Also made the list of best barbecue spots in 2021.
Nice. I was looking at the menu, they have wine, and I think they do wine pairings,
Yes.
is that right? I feel like we've got to end on a glass of wine.
Maybe. It's not even 2 yet.
It's a Sunday.
I have to say, I don't think I've had wine and barbecue before. They got a lot of beers on tap. Fine, I'll do it. We'll ask to see what wine goes best with their brisket. Maybe they actually have one. I don't know.
You're not much of a wine guy?
It's fine.
More of a beer dude.
It's also fine. I'm more of a kind of being drunk guy.
Okay, wine's a pretty efficient way to get you there.
I'm listening.
I'm surprised
listening.
you're not more on
Yeah.
it. Yeah, it's good.
We're definitely going to be getting brisket, ribs. So we're going to go get us some food.
Absolutely.
I will be right back. There's 2 different wines that she felt pairs well with the brisket.
Sure. So, like, how does it go well with it? What are the notes that we're getting from this?
I have no idea.
Oh, perfect. Cheers.
The red.
I'll drink to that.
That's wine. I just don't know anything about it. And every time someone explains to me about wine, I'm like, yeah, that sounds good. And then I'm like, I don't care.
That's fair. I like drinking wine,
Yeah.
but I also don't know much about it. I've never done like a wine tasting course or anything like that. When people often sip wine and they're like, oh, you're getting notes of this fruit. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, you're not. It's
Yeah.
just wine. It's
Even
wine.
though you're like, I guess I taste it. All I taste is wine and the alcohol.
Yeah. I like it though. Barbecue doesn't have to be something you do in a backyard. It can be something that you do in a more fancy restaurant setup
Yeah, sure.
with glasses of wine.
Perfect timing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much. Wow, fantastic service.
It's looking good. It's the first time we haven't had the sliced brisket. We did get here late. It's kind of on us. Chopped brisket buried under these ribs here. The color on the ribs looks very good. Sausage looks good. These sprouts again, exciting.
Yeah, I think all this looks real good. I'm eyeing those sprouts. I don't normally start with the brisket, but I wouldn't mind starting off with a rib.
It will also help us access the brisket, which is currently tucked underneath that.
That's very good.
There you go.
Oh yeah, dude, super tender.
Uh-huh.
They got that flap. They got that Houston flap.
Look at the fat just like liquefying in there.
Falling off the bone, baby.
Oh, that's a real good rib.
I think I know why somebody went Chopped, either the season or the episode.
That's a serious rib. Like you say, falling straight off the bone, super tender.
There is a flavor to this that we have not had yet.
Yeah,
It feels like they've seasoned this in a way that definitely would differentiate itself from all the other ribs, all the barbecue we've had today. I'm very surprised by this. This is incredible.
yeah, this has a real like depth of flavor to it. And then we have some multiple barbecue sauce options.
Sweet
Oh,
red,
man.
similar to this wine.
Really good.
Yeah.
How do you feel about chopped brisket in terms of like the texture that it offers, the flavor?
You know, I like it better in solid form, just like laying right into it, but I'm gonna do it in a sandwich, or if it's all that's available, I'll eat it.
Yeah.
I mean, this chopped brisket is excellent though.
I quite like the flavor of this. I feel like you get that kind of bark mixed up a lot more in with the meat,
Yep.
which I really appreciate. After, again, quite a lot of like sliced brisket where you just tend to get the bark on the outside and then the inside texture is very samey.
Right.
This actually mixes that up, so I quite like it.
Quick sauce rundown. First one, Texas Gold, A+.
That's really good.
Sweet red, also A+.
What the hell is in Alabama white sauce? I'm intrigued.
Look at that. That might be A++. Isn't that really good?
What is that? I can't put my finger on what that even tastes like, but it's
Now,
delicious.
I am a vinegar guy, so I'm gonna try the mop sauce here.
Man. The secret weapon right here.
I think the mop sauce would be my go-to. I think I would just like, I think I'd literally be, if it was just me,
Yeah.
this would be me. Boom, bam, boom,
Every
bam.
mouthful, just bam, bam, bam.
They had stuff up there. I might see if I can get a bottle of this to go.
Wow, that good, huh?
The white sauce I like, but it doesn't taste like ranch, but it reminds me of when people put ranch on other things, where it just has like a really like strong flavor. And I do like the taste of the Alabama white way more than like ranch. Like I like its flavor, but to me the Alabama white is adding its own flavor to the meat. The mop sauce though, That is making that meat sing, baby.
Meat enhancer.
Yeah, that is the best enhancer on the table there.
So vinegary, like.
Which leads me to think I wanted to make a point that this meat is absolutely fantastic. It is perfect. The only sausage they had left was the mild.
Good snap. Juicy sausage.
Mild in heat, but that's the only way that it's mild. Everything else, top tier.
Flavorful. That's like the best Frankfurter sausage I've ever had.
Yeah.
That kind of flavor profile.
Yeah.
Porky, very porky, smoky, juicy. Wow.
Yeah, it's really good.
A few more sides to close us out.
Yeah. Which one do you want to hit
What do we
first?
got here? The cheesy potatoes.
Nice, smooth. I feel like a sauce would go good on that.
Yeah, try one out.
I know it's talking about the mop, but this sweet red.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Those potatoes are so good.
Yeah, they're really good.
Really rich flavor. I have been loving what barbecue spots have been doing with sprouts so
Yeah.
far. Give these ones a
Again. Oh.
well.
I forgot what I was going to say when I tasted the sprouts. Oh my god. These are the best sprouts.
Really?
These are the best that we've
Straight
had,
up? Yeah.
straight up, that I've ever had.
Wow.
Oh
Okay.
my god.
They are really good. It's such an impressive achievement to get the texture like that, because you want to cook them all the way through. But you
Yep.
do not want them to be mushy. These are like still
Correct.
crispy, crunchy, a little sweet.
And for a vegetable that is famously like bitter,
Yeah.
right? It's sweet. Perfectly salted, because usually when I go to a place with sprouts, they roast them, that's a start, and then they just drown them in salt.
And then of course, the cornbread. Snag myself some of that.
Yeah. What I love about corn muffins is sweet and savory. With the butter. You haven't a lot of corn muffins since you've gotten here, have you?
Not really. It seems like in general Texas is slightly more about the white bread when it comes to their barbecue. But I've really enjoyed the cornbread that we have had. That's lovely.
I'm thoroughly impressed with this. We have eaten our way to the great city of Houston. Started off yesterday with Truth Barbecue, one of the top on Texas Monthly's 50 Best Barbecue 2021 list, right? Right when we got that food, I could see why. Everything was incredible. Loved that brisket. The sides, incredible. We ate like kings over there, right? Got a nice power nap in, then hit it over to Pit Room. Breakfast tacos, come on.
I'm very glad you took me there so I could experience a proper breakfast taco, because those were phenomenal.
Yeah.
But the barbecue as well, just in general, really, really great.
And I do think that you are like ruined for breakfast tacos now, because I, as a guy who enjoys breakfast tacos and has them semi-regularly, that was hands down the best breakfast taco I've ever had.
Yeah.
With
Wow.
certainty.
That's high praise.
Amazing, amazing.
The barbecue themselves, excellent. The sides there as well, the chicharrones and the chips.
So great. Then we went to Pinkerton. Some say they are the best in Houston. A guy in there was saying that people will land at the Houston airport and come to Pinkerton's before they go to where they're staying.
Yeah.
And people go in there with their suitcases. That's how much of a must-stop Pinkerton is. And I can see why. I mean, traditionally speaking,
The classics they had absolutely nailed down.
Yep.
That brisket, the fatty brisket and the lean brisket. Cater to all your tastes.
the beef rib, the beef
Pork
rib,
rib,
the beef rib,
beef
the beef
rib.
rib. Oh my god, the beef rib. Yeah.
A cheddar jalapeno sausage.
I have to say, like, I love the vibe there. Love the outdoor sitting there. Inside, it feels like you're at someone's home. Outside, it feels like you're just chilling at like the best neighborhood barbecue. It's really awesome.
Yeah.
You can see why people from all over the country go to eat at Pinkerton. Absolutely fantastic.
And then finally, we've ended our barbecue tour at Feeges. And I personally have really liked it. Slightly different plate-wise compared to some of the other places we've been to. We missed the brisket, but honestly, I think the chopped brisket still does the job. Texturally, I actually maybe even prefer that to some of the regular sliced briskets that we tried. Those ribs were like different to any other ribs that we've had so far, I would say. And I mean that in a good way.
Totally agree. Chopped brisket didn't miss a step. Amazing sauces on the table. I think that might be the best rib we've had the whole time we've been here. Best pork ribs we've had
Yeah.
this whole trip. The sides, perfect. The attention to detail, immaculate. And I also love how they have married classic barbecue with more modern twist, and not only the environment, but also what they have here on the plate. People are always eating here. They're running stuff real quick, so I really want to come back here and get here bright and early to make sure that I try some of the goods that we unfortunately missed.
All in all, I feel like we've covered a lot of bases, had some excellent barbecue. All that remains is the difficult task of picking our favorite one. Out of the 4 spots in Houston that we've hit, do you have a favorite?
I'm sorry, where are we?
Out of the 4 spots in Houston that we've hit, do you have a favorite?
I do. I loved every place for all the reasons we said before. Every place has something that I really enjoyed, but if I had to pick one, I think I'm gonna land with the thinnest of margins. The thinnest. We're talking everything was an A+, one place was an A++, and for me, that was Pinkerton.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved the beef rib, the brisket, The sides were amazing. This is the closest of seconds for me. Pinkerton's just edging out just a little bit.
I actually think I agree with you.
Really?
I think Pinkerton's, again, by a very fine margin,
Yeah.
number one. I will say, in Houston and pretty much everywhere we've been, I think like all of the good places are doing the classics very well. So it's really fine margins, like brisket, ribs, sausage. You're not going to be disappointed anywhere. I really love the vibe in Pinkerton's. It was nice there. It did feel like you'd just gone around to Grant's house for some dinner, which is really great. And again, I think as a kind of like foreigner, as a tourist coming here, if I were recommending someone to visit Houston and try an authentic Texas barbecue experience, I think for me it's Pinkerton's that's doing it traditionally, excellently. But I would also say, if anyone's visiting, stop by the pit room and get a breakfast taco.
And I would also say definitely stop by here and get the unbelievable Brussels sprouts and the amazing ribs. These were my favorite ribs.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, to be fair, actually, the ribs here were phenomenal. It's tough, man. It's tough. Everywhere's good.
Okay.
As much as I've had a great time, I'm excited to not eat brisket for like the next year.
Yeah, I think we're good. I think I'll have my barbecuing done for the year.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go vegetarian for a while, I think, to balance out my karmic debt here. But hey, thank you, man. It's been phenomenally enlightening and delicious trip.
I'm ready to go to sleep. All right, man, that's the whole journey. We're about to leave Houston. Went to 3 amazing cities here in Texas and went to 12 even more amazing barbecue spots, some of the best the state has to offer. And now on the last day before we head out of the great state of Texas, we have to decide once and for all what was the best barbecue we had on this entire trip.
Yeah, 12 barbecue spots in 5 days. It's a lot of meat. I was kind of worried that it would all blur together a little bit, but honestly, we've had such great food that I do actually have pretty distinct memories of each place.
Okay, I don't know if we can recap all 12.
No.
Why don't we hit our favorites from each city before we decide favorite one overall? Started the trip in Dallas-Fort Worth. Amazing places we went to, obviously, but in the end, for me, my favorite and your favorite was Goldie's.
Yeah, for Dallas-Fort Worth, we agreed on Goldie's. Then we headed to Austin, where we actually were split, because I kind of like Snow's, whereas you liked Interstellar.
Loved Interstellar. Thought Snow's incredible, amazing experience. What an institution, but Interstellar for me just kind of beat them out just a little bit, but yeah, Interstellar definitely my favorite. And then we ended the trip here in Houston, where we both once again agreed the Pinkertons was our favorite barbecue.
I think of all the places that we visited, Houston was the one that had the finest margin. I was really struggling to pick a favorite. So it was more, based on the vibe there, obviously the quality of the food, the sides, things like that. But the barbecue itself, really close at all the Houston spots.
Close. Yeah. So if we had to pick one place in the entire trip that we would say, okay, that was our favorite. If I can only go back for one, I'm going back for this one. And for me, I have been thinking about it all day. I really can't place my finger on why it is my favorite out of all the ones we went to. As far as I can't point to a dish or a flavor. I just felt the entire menu and the experience and the vibe, everything was right up my alley. I absolutely love this place. I will absolutely go back when I return to Austin, because my favorite was Interstellar.
Wow, okay. Yeah.
Number 2 for Texas Monthly, number 1 for the J-Man.
Number 1 for J-Man.
Yeah, and it's gonna seem like a weird distinction, but every place we went to also had really cool merch. And it's the only place I wish I got a shirt. Because I want people to ask me about it so I can tell them about how great Interstellar barbecue is.
Gotcha. I think I see where you're coming from, but I do disagree. I think personally, my favorite of all the places that we've been to, it's not a controversial opinion. My favorite was Goldie's.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Goldie's is fantastic.
I know it's the Texas Monthly number 1. I wanted to be a bit different and interesting, but I think of all the plates of barbecue that we've had on this trip so far, that's the one that sticks out in my memory.
That's the one that did. It was
Yeah.
absolutely fantastic what they're doing down there. Yeah. Amazing.
It was the classic barbecue experience. A couple of minor tweaks where they're putting their own spin on things, but for the most part, it's just good old-fashioned Texas barbecue executed really well.
All right, that's the video.
That's
All
a
right,
wrap.
That's the marathon. We're going to New Orleans, so
Yeah, man.
let's go.
Stay tuned for more.
So I got to sneeze.
Kyle's got arms.
Kyle's got the.
The cow
Well-
arms.
Are these their arms or legs?
Oh, good question. Legs?
Well, let me ask you a question. If a cow was wearing pants,
Yeah, if a cow
would it
wore
be
jeans.
would the waist down, or would it be all four legs in the jeans and it'd be like up?
Well, like 2 pairs of jeans,
Well, I don't know. What do you think? If I tell you like, oh, that cow's wearing pants, what are you imagining?
2 pairs of jeans.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I would do like if you were on like our hands and knees.
Yeah.
It's just in the back. Whatever. Anyway, this place specifically, Panther City, is doing a post oak. I don't know what that. I think that's the name of the tree.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a type of oak tree.
That's a type of oak tree, covered in tattoos.
Yeah.
All right. How come we didn't rent a Cybertruck? God, that would have been so funny. Speaking of the funniest thing ever, that would have been the
Rolling
funniest
around
thing.
Texas in a Cybertruck.
Cybertruck. I have to sneeze.
Bless you.
Sorry. R.I.P. your ears. What do you want to talk about?
The football. The English men's national football team.
What's the score?
1-1. 20 minutes in.
Jesus, 20 minutes and everyone's only scored once?
That's quite a lot for, for football.
It's like the most boring thing in the world. For instance, they have a peach tea glazed pork belly. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna sing for the rest of this video because I wanna eat that so bad. And I'm done with that bit. Ready to do this?
Very much so.
Let's do it!
Let's do this.
Austin, it's considered Central Texas. Therefore, they do barbecue the Central Texas way. Texas.
Texas.
I'm saying Texas.
Why?
Texas. You know where we are, right? We're in the middle of it.
We're in central Texas.
There you go. It sounds like he's saying Texas now.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, that's what I'm hearing.
Oh, the cat's
Oh,
back.
the man is back.
Cat's back.
Are you good with him, or I can?
Oh, yeah, it's fine.
No, he's
What's the
great.
cat's name?
Snaps.
Snaps.
Snaps the cat.
Like he's kind of a ginger cat.
Snaps.
So
Just
Snap.
Snaps. How about a Snaps? You want to come join me?
Okay. I've got morning croaky voice. Let me know if my levels sound weird or bad.
Here's my level. Here's how I sound.
I should keep talking to him.
Okay. I'm drinking a liquid death with a hydration multiplier poured in it because I'm not eating properly. So I'm putting it onto science to get all those nutrients back in my body. And I'm certain that's not how it works.
How does it taste?
Not great.
Yeah.